This podcast is proudly brought to you by Concha Services. Look, we've all started a project at some point in our house that turned into a bigger project. From remodeling or just cleaning out the attic, by the time you were done, you were left over with construction material, trash, old furniture, you name it, and you wish you had a way to get rid of it. Well, Concha Services has got you covered. Concha Services delivers quality dump trailers to your home or business with multiple sizes to choose from to fit your project's needs. And unlike the typical job site dumpsters, they won't damage your driveway or parking lot. Once you're finished with the dump trailer, they come and pick up, dispose, or recycle whatever materials you have safely and responsibly. And that's not all. Concha Services can also provide cleanouts, large material and furniture delivery, and even junk car removal. So, if you live in the Delaware tri-state area and you're looking to remodel like a professional or just have some spring cleaning to take care of, call Concha Services today and tell them the Leave It Running podcast sent you to get 5% off through call 302-319-4087. That's 302-319-4087. And remember to tell them that the Leave It Running podcast sent you.
Have to remember to clap at the end. We always forget that.
Yep, we do.
Still don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We haven't figured that out.
Well, we actually have a bunch of stuff. So we will just
away
jump
from
right
the
into
mic?
some stuff. So
what's
live
my
on the
audio
podcast
level?
here.
Whoop.
So we have Fluff.
Just testing.
Yeah, testing. Fluff, our first guest. Adrian, of course. Me.
I've never been here before.
No.
I cannot believe you've done this. So, I mean, Fluff, you just want to introduce yourself a little bit?
My name's Fluff. I live in Pennsylvania. I work on cars.
Oh, way to dox yourself.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's as far as I was going to go. I almost said, and I was like,
Yeah.
wait, that's not a good idea.
So you were saying your social security number
Yeah,
was...
so it starts with...
Well, I guess just to jump us right in and get us rolling. So I know you want to talk about the Cybertruck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Cybertruck, after 4 long years, I think it was announced 2019.
Mm-hmm.
They did it, finally. They delivered the first ones to their customers Thursday. And they had a whole event. It kind of looked like it was planned 5 minutes in advance. Elon was talking from the shadows. It was great. But, they finally made the thing. We'll see how the panel gaps play out, although your work van is not much better than Tesla.
Wild.
It's not meant to be a work van, though. It's like,
No, it's meant to be a truck.
Yeah,
It's meant
it's like,
to be.
yeah.
But how many
But, I
transits?
mean, it's
how many
all-
transits have Ford cranked out?
I mean, that's
and
millions,
you didn't get to see
millions.
it, but some of the panel gaps on that van are atrocious.
On
Well,
the
you know what's
transit vans?
what's even funnier is that at least they're consistent because we just bought 2 more transit
Wands.
vans.
Is Wands like that?
Yeah.
Oh
I thought
god.
you guys were like strictly Nissan.
They don't make them anymore.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and those things were sweet.
They're
But
alright.
I'm getting used to it. The new transit.
That's called
I'm liking
Stockholm
it.
They
syndrome.
move a little bit, don't they? Don't they boogie slightly? I know the Nissans are dogs.
Well-
but-
Not with the V8.
oh, okay. The V8
Yeah.
ones, yeah, they're pretty fun.
So if I'm being completely honest, and Todd, if you're listening, buy the 2.7 next time.
The turbo.
Yeah, so the turbo
Specifically.
2.7, those have like all the
It's
availability
like
for like
300 some odd.
yeah, but, like the tune, the downpipe, and all that.
Okay.
So, I wish we had talked about that later in the podcast, where like maybe Todd would not have heard that. But
Yeah,
now he's,
we're way early. He's like, oh,
he's
yeah,
gonna
I'm just
just
gonna
like
scroll through a
scroll
couple
through.
Todd,
of
when I
words.
get my van, if you could just grab the
5 seconds
2.7.
in.
Yeah.
He's like, great, all right, they're ripping on the trucks, cool.
Yeah. No, they are great vans, and like because it's like so far pushed forward, the whole cab. so much longer in the back. You know, we would struggle with like all the pipes come in like 10 footers.
Yeah.
So it's tough. Like the
I swear
old
the Nissan's
vans,
like 9 foot 10 inches. Or
yeah.
something.
So you have to like put them in on an angle. But then like if you had like a bunch of them, you kind of start stacking them up, and then they start to stop fitting. You know. So, but yeah, now these are nice, and I got the little door. So
you got the pass through.
Yeah, the little pass through door, so I can go like from and then go straight back, which is also nice if I had an even longer like 12-footer like a piece of pipe.
Yeah, and you got no center console.
I could just go.
But I'm telling you, you got to put a bench seat up there. You have no center console.
Yeah,
it'd be perfect.
Well, then you got to climb over the bench seat to get.
Well, I mean, the old bench seats only come up like that high. It's not that hard to climb over.
Yeah.
Right.
Besides, it's worth it. He drove his Nissan for how many years without a pass through? He can sacrifice that for a bench seat.
I'm starting to get used to it. I'm kind of liking it. It's so fun.
Now.
Yeah, so fun to just like hop in for the back and just be like, boop, boop, just kind of hop in.
You don't have to leave.
It's just a novelty. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if only Ford could get their the 10-speed right.
Yeah.
That transmission is.
Yeah.
Is it bad? I've not
never knows what gear it
well,
wants.
10 gears.
Yeah.
I don't know why they keep doing that.
I know.
Fuel
I think that it's fuel economy. So I think it's more that it just doesn't downshift, and then when it does, it's screaming.
Yeah, you gotta floor it.
Yeah,
it's always in economy mode.
Yeah, and like usually you can kind of like even with like some cars that have like a funny kickdown, you can kind of floor it, and then you know when it's gonna shift, and you can kind of catch that kickdown, and then like it shifts, and then boom, it downshifts again. And now you're in the gear that you actually wanted. You can lay back into it. You kind of find that. This is none of that. It's like up there, and it's like, well, this is what you wanted, and it's staying. It's like hanging on to the gear. It's like it doesn't.
This is why I like old cars. They have a kickdown rod that you can adjust.
Yeah.
So it's just like I want it to kick down here, and then I put my foot down to that point, and it kicks down.
Yeah.
Drops it.
Or my Buick's case, it pretends to kick down.
Yeah, it wants to kick down, but
it pretends.
Mechanically speaking.
So the Cybertruck.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So obviously this is a very polarizing vehicle. You either love it or you hate it.
Yeah.
I am in camp love it because it looks like the goofy dystopian future that the 80s promised us. You know, to quote like one of the driving philosophies behind them designing that thing is, why doesn't the future look like the future? I get that it's ugly. I can sit there with a straight face and tell you it's ugly and I love it. But what I wasn't expecting is Tesla, which single-handedly pushed electric cars like a decade forward. You know, everyone else was not even like attempting to make a full electric car that was actually usable. But they dumped just a ton of like engineering firsts into this car that they kept under wraps too. Like no one really expected this. So it's got like an 800 volt high volt battery, which isn't an industry first. I think like Hyundai and Kia actually have 800 volt architecture, but their low volt, you know, what would be like a 12 volt battery, is 48 volts. So that lets them use less wires because as you up voltage, you can drop amperage. So smaller wires, doesn't need to be as beefy. Everything's only running like a couple amps, and it's what gave them their the ability to do their variable steering rack. So the steering wheel in this truck, this is a full-size truck with meaty 35-inch off-road tires.
Yeah.
You only turn the wheel like halfway in either direction, and that is full lock.
Whoa.
And when you're going parking lot speeds, there is no connection between that wheel and the steering wheels. It's all electronic. So just doing that, it cranks your wheels left and right, and it's got rear wheel steering as well. So this thing's got a tiny turning circle for its size.
Did I miss something about like, I mean, what the hell would happen if you sneezed on the highway? Like,
well, it slows down.
Oh,
it's
okay,
adaptive.
okay.
So as you speed up, the inputs that you give it are, you know,
less
worked out. Yeah, it's like it's not like go-kart steering where you turn the wheel like this, your wheels are doing this.
Yeah.
Like the more you, I don't know if it's like, is it speed
it's
adaptive?
speed-based.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's demand-based, realistically.
Yeah.
It's like,
So this thing can get away with having like a semi-yoke that they put in the Model S Plaid, but that had a regular steering rack, so trying to like go around a parking lot with a yoke is awkward, but you could do it with this. They didn't give it a yoke, they gave it a squircle steering wheel. That's what they call it.
Why?
Square circle.
I get that. Like, come on. It's a square steering
Tesla
wheel.
didn't come
Let's
up
be
with that
real.
name. I think Chevy started calling it that because it was in the C8 Corvette.
That's Chevy.
I know that the Frunk was funny too. That was the other thing.
Frunk. I like Frunk.
Yeah,
I can get behind
Yeah.
Frunk, but Squircle.
but we kind of I thought it was kind of funny that like on Ford's website they were like, and it comes with a Frunk.
Oh,
They're like they just totally like
No,
it's
it's
in the
industry
dictionary
standard
now.
now.
Silence brand.
Yeah.
This is like
Well, no, this
Now,
is
what is it? A
industry standard.
Furkle? What do you say?
Squircle.
Squircle.
Square circle.
Dude, that's definitely a Pokemon that evolves to Don't get me wrong.
But yeah, so this truck is absolutely insane. The stainless steel is mildly bulletproof. You know, handgun calipers, anything that's like
Yes.
subsonic.
Is this the Cybertruck?
Is that the Squircle? That's
That's-
not even. That's a pentagon.
That's the Squircle.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a hexagon.
Okay, well,
I'm
look,
sorry.
Mercedes has the gall to call a four-door SUV a coupe, all right?
Yeah. Okay.
Words mean nothing.
Well, okay.
here.
Well, hold on. The Saturn was a quad coupe.
Yeah, but that had a designation at the beginning of it, and it made sense.
Yeah.
And you had French doors.
Yeah. French.
So people have taken delivery.
Yeah, I'm
And
not
then
sure,
Who has
who?
taken
Yeah.
delivery?
I
That's
don't
what I would like
know.
to know.
but if I had to guess, it probably some of their biggest investors that might
Yeah.
have put in for an order, and then after the big shots get theirs, it's the order that the pre-orders were put in. So if you saw the announcement back in 2019 and
I
immediately
remember
dropped
that.
the
You
$100
$100,
deposit,
yeah.
like that day while the event was still ongoing, you're probably going to get a call or a letter or an email
Okay.
very soon.
Do they have like a when they'll be up to in the stores level of Cybertrucks?
Well, if you believe the rumors, because there's no official numbers that have been
Is it
released,
Elon
they've got
numbers?
no, this is just like based on like
Okay.
internet traffic and
That's a
such,
legitimate
I
question.
guess. That is a legitimate question. But supposedly they've got over 2 million pre-orders.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Jeez, that is a ton.
And they're talking about the ramp up to get like full production like rate in the factories is probably going to be by the end of like next year.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine that they're close to being full.
They've got them rolling out, but like they're still
Yeah.
waiting to see like, okay, what's going to be a problem area that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, where's our bottlenecks? in
They've gotten a
production?
lot better at ramp up though. Like when they first tried to ramp up the Model 3 production, that was absolute hell for them. The Model Y, no one talked about the ramp up because they just did it.
Yeah.
Like they figured it out. And then when they redid the Model 3, that only took them a couple weeks.
Okay.
This is a whole new model. though.
Well, the other question I have for you is I don't know what it's called, but I know you know what the new metal is called, and
It internally they've been calling it HFS,
yeah,
which stands for hard friggin' steel.
Friggin.
Yeah.
Keep it family friendly.
Yeah.
Friggin.
And yeah, that's totally on brand for an Elon company.
That makes
the
sense.
the
Yeah.
Starship before it was Starship was the BFR.
Sometimes I think
Friggin'
friggin is
rocket.
a little bit stronger than
I think friggin's if used appropriately.
Yeah.
think I've been watching the things on TikTok where you can't curse.
Yeah.
And the captions are FUGGIN. I was like,
Fuggin'.
that's
Whoa.
aggressive. Like,
Yeah,
that's
comments
you
are
might as well
heavy.
Just, yeah,
You're
might as
skirting
well
the
just
rules
say it
there.
at that point. Like, what are we holding back for? I just thought that was a bit, that was odd to me.
Yeah. I heard that the truck covers, the bed covers rather, are standard, and they're standard,
No.
especially because
yeah.
it will reduce the battery by like 10%.
Yeah,
the range.
it's 10% efficiency increase
Wow.
in
Yeah,
aerodynamics for
with
having
just
that.
that.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And
So, like,
it's
you need these.
that tonneau cover can hold up to 350 pounds, so you
Dude,
can
the
stand
steering
on
wheel
it.
cover
those
is
hubcaps?
Cybertruck
Yes.
shape. It's Cybertruck
They're aero
silhouette-shaped
covers.
steering wheel.
Their aero covers is what they are for
Interesting.
aerodynamics.
Well, yeah,
It's a
makes
wild
sense.
thing. I mean, I think it's spot on. And they
No, it looks
Just
like
like-
the goofy dystopian like cyberpunk future that we've been
Yeah.
promised, and I am all about it.
yeah.
Who's the first person to put it on like an 8-inch lift? Like, way out there with it.
You don't need to like
I know you don't need to,
you put
but
it in
you don't
off-road
need
mode,
to
and you've
put
got
a
17
Jeep up
inches.
2 feet in the air.
Well,
either,
that's the thing.
but
It's got a very, very sophisticated, very integral like
That's fair. That is
suspension
yeah,
system.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
It
not
can-
sure how
you can
mess with it
yeah.
without breaking the truck.
Well, I mean, you're not supposed to put a rear
Somebody will
axle at
figure it
this
out.
angle, but people do that too.
Yeah, somebody will figure it out. Well,
I'm
dude,
sure.
and speaking of that, kind of just to change the subject a little bit. So
It
this
looks so
cat,
goofy going down the road.
this cat in, I think it's in in Florida. Yeah, Jacksonville, Florida. Matt Boyette. He works for or maybe owns Performance PDR. I think it's like All Out Performance PDR. And so far, I mean, he's like the first popular, like the one to like officially fix the bodywork on a Rivian pickup truck.
I have seen horror stories about that. People getting like
Bro, he
rear-ended.
nailed it.
Wait, what's the deal? Like, why is it?
It's just working on these electric cars in general is really tricky, especially with all the electronics
I didn't even
and
really think
welding,
about that,
pulling,
I
anything
guess,
like
like-
that.
Yeah,
But
the Rivian pickup trucks, especially because they don't have replaceable body parts.
It's
So
all-
like
They're-
it's all like
they're
one piece.
put together in a really interesting way. I've seen like 3 different instances of people getting in mild fender benders, and the repair bill is $40,000.
Yeah, yeah. So Matt Boyette did it pretty cheap, but he had to like send it to him. He wasn't sure if he was going to like take it on or not, but I kind of like made a big thing and certainly helped his his business because like now anybody
He's
who's
the expert now.
now he's the expert. He did one. I don't know if he's done any more, but I thought it was really cool because you and I talked about it a few times. Just the fact that like if you have one, like if you get into a fender bender, it like could total it.
Yeah,
Like
which is-
like
No,
so
it's fine
I
because the
had
truck's
this-
$100,000, so $40,000 is
yeah.
that's safe.
Yeah.
I was having this conversation at work the other day with some of the people because we have, at Nissan, we don't like have some crazy cars, but like some of these cars have so many radars, sonars, and computers in just the front corner of the car that
Yeah.
just like a mild impact into like a pole.
$5,000.
Yeah, it's a $10,000
In parts.
repair.
Yeah.
Yeah, $5,000 in parts, $5,000
Yeah.
in labor. It's just like these cars are getting ridiculous for like
Yeah.
the stuff that they shove into them.
Oh
in
well,
the
I mean,
weirdest
you want to talk
spots.
about like just that, all these digital dashboards that are like displays and screens. What do you do when that breaks?
When any part of the, you know how
Yeah.
bad the radios are for most of these car
I
companies,
mean, like $1,200.
and they're going bad all the time. Wait
Yeah.
till these
My
digital
Buick
dashboards
speedometer
go
doesn't
bad.
work. It's a $95 gear that I need
Mm-hmm.
to replace, and the only reason it's $95 is because no one else makes
Yeah,
them.
it's
But
from
it's
the
a
60s.
plastic gear.
I think BMW had something similar. Like I don't think it was iDrive, but they had something that was like a main thing that was connected to everything. Where like when it broke, it was like cool. There's no HVAC. There's no this. There's no. It was like oh fuck.
Yeah.
They're like yeah,
No, that's every car now.
Oh,
if your
yeah, look at
BCM
that.
dies, it's just like
yeah,
your BCM controls everything. Your windows, your locks.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll stick to my dumb old cars.
Yeah.
So, so speaking of a new release item, so I don't know if you guys have heard of Anduril.
What?
Oh my God! Well, I'm pleased to announce that Anduril has just come out with the Roadrunner. This, and I'll put some pictures up. This is a portable craft that can take down drones.
Is this what we're
This, yes, we're watching it. This is the Roadrunner. So this, they can just in seconds activate this thing and take out a drone.
So this
Oh.
isn't for like you or me to buy.
no, sir.
Yeah. yeah.
No,
So
this
for
is
me to buy.
This
is what
is
you meant. You left me out of that. So
yeah. This is properly priced.
Wait, so if it misses, it
Government
can come back and land. though?
anti-air material.
Yeah, why
yes,
is it
and
landing?
comes back down and lands.
This is after it hits the drone.
Yeah.
Or does it
Yes.
hit the drone and then come back? Wait, what?
How does it survive? Does it deploy something?
Yeah, nothing looks like it.
I think it's got a
survives
yeah.
that.
This has a payload.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, what the hell?
yeah. But I mean, and so these things are like they do a lot, and
How
so
much you
I'm
will
actually
bet?
really surprised that you haven't seen this, and I'm glad
Well, it's
that
funny
I
is
sent
I
it up
just
this
saw
way.
like
Seen
a
this.
GIF of that, but I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't look into it.
Yeah, so
I literally saw
we're
that this
learning
morning.
now. So this is Anduril is a company that was founded. The founder is Palmer Luckey, who was
What a
the
name.
he's the creator of the Oculus.
Well then,
Yeah, so
Wonder why I saw
he was
Zuckerberg down there.
he doesn't work there anymore. Obviously, like no one's heard of him, but he like donated a little bit of money to a nonprofit that was associated, possibly I think, with Trump. So like he kind of got like shadow
I
banned.
mean, right there, fundraising for Donald Trump,
yeah,
donations to the Republican
Yeah.
Party.
So
That'll get you kicked out of Facebook.
it got him
Yeah.
kicked out. So but still with a little bit of money, he started this company. I think in like 2016.
Do you think he hired any SpaceX engineers with how that thing lands?
Does land?
I
Lands
don't
like a
know.
falcon.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know that. I know he took a lot of people from Oculus came.
Are they?
Okay, well, we made a VR headset. You want to make military-grade weapons?
Yeah, dude. So the way that this company got started out is they first started out with their software Lattice. So the Lattice software is just an operating system that they're using they're using pretty much for everything, and they're doing everything really smart, where they're creating technology and then piggybacking that technology into other things. So they started out with just doing surveillance. So they had with a bunch of other like military defense companies had gotten a contract to put up cameras along the border, the southern border, as part of like the defense, and I think that was with Trump under his administration. I don't know if they've done any more as far as that, but it was like 200. There's still 60 of them there now, but the idea is that they were solar, they're modular, they can move, and
They're all like self-contained.
Yeah, and they have a 3-mile radius that they can view, and they can distinguish between vehicles and humans, and like knowing like if it's an animal or something coming across instead. So that's how they got like the big launch. And again, like the Lattice is the iOS that they're using for this, and the same thing. And so what we're looking at here is the Atlas. So these are drones that you can just shoot from land, sea, or air.
Just drone in a tube.
Yep, drone in a tube, and they just circle, I think, like a 10-mile radius.
Like
They're
a
pretty
pizza.
small, and they'll just hover, and then they
that's
just lock
cool,
on
but,
and go. And then these are like 100% just self-destructing.
Oh, they self-did. Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
They're just suicide
that-
drones,
yeah, okay, I
and they
see
just
that
fly
now.
right into
That's
shit.
insane.
Yeah,
I don't
dude,
know,
it's
man. Like
crazy.
that's
What a
cool, but
move.
I'm kind of digging those cardboard drones from Australia.
That's a
Those are
pretty
cool
fire
too.
move.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know what the prices are,
Do
but
they fire
these
at their other ones?
yeah, this is high end stuff. This is like
oh yeah,
Gucci's.
could the Roadrunner take out the
Yeah.
Atlas? That's what I want to know.
That's an important.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And so they also have a
That
little.
looks like a hypersonic
That-
cruise
yeah.
missile.
It is a jet.
I've used that in
Um,
Ace Combat 7.
Yeah. So this is a pretty cool jet. I think that it can carry a payload.
Oh, that's an autonomous
yes.
drone jet
Yeah,
thing. Okay.
exactly.
I thought that was a cruise missile. Cruise missiles look similar to that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some of them do. Yeah.
but this is the Fury. So this thing's sweet. Apparently, it's a like a commercial jet engine that they're using. So
Just off the shelf.
just off the shelf, pretty sustainable. But I mean, just like incredible, like what they're pumping out. And I think the wingspan on that is like 17 foot.
So it's big.
Yeah, pretty big, but like not quite big enough to like fit a person. Kind of just as a
Well, that
reference
depends
for
on your
size.
It's
ambition.
like a 50% scale plane.
I saw this and I was like, they got this idea from aliens. Like somebody got in front of like an alien spacecraft and was like, all right, I got an idea.
You can put bombs on this?
Yeah. So I think the idea for this thing is kind of like the SR-71 is like it's surveillance. It's to like get in somewhere fast and get out fast.
So it doesn't carry ordnance.
It has a payload capability, but it doesn't have any. With
Weapons.
my favorite new term that I learned is a kinetic engagement.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
oh,
my
yeah,
favorite.
yeah.
I love that. That's a good fun way of saying how to blow something up. Like, does it have any abilities
kinetics.
for kinetic engagement? It's like,
engagement
oh, does it
means
blow
it's,
shit up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinetic engagement isn't explosive.
Yeah, it's not explosive. That's impact.
Speed. That's
Yeah.
impact. So
Yeah.
that's bullets. Or
A
kamikaze
uranium
style.
tipped,
Yeah.
but like the A-10 Warthog, that's a kinetic weapon.
Yeah.
Sword.
That's 100% all kinetic.
Yeah.
When it's not dropping bombs. 'cause
Yeah,
it has
yeah,
a
yeah.
Huge payload for
But
bombs.
those are
too.
heavy rounds. They're what are they? Uranium tipped or what
Ura-
is it?
depleted uranium
Depleted
tipped,
uranium.
like 30 millimeter.
Yeah, heavy. I was gonna ask, is that? I hope it gets back to it. But is that still our symbol that we use? The star and the stripes right there.
Yeah.
We still use that. That's our
Yeah.
like that's a
Little
cool
guy.
little. I like that on planes. It
emblem.
looks cool.
Yeah. Like a
I don't know
top,
how to-
top
yeah, what's that
gun.
called?
There's
Yeah,
a-
exactly. Top Gun.
shit.
Yeah.
That
But-
was like front and center
What's
on
that?
Top
Is
Gun.
it like a band? What would they call
Roundel.
it? Chevron? A roundel. There you
Yeah.
go. Like, with the knowledge.
There's also, if you look. Wait,
Oh, sorry.
where is it? Where is it?
Fury. This looks like something I would have had as a kid in my
Why does it
room.
wanna
Like,
show
Yeah.
it's got the stand.
It's got a boundary layer separator on top.
I saw
of
that.
the,
What's up with that?
So if you when you have air flowing over something, it slows down. It becomes a boundary layer. That's what we call it. If you have that going into the jet engine, it's going to hit the turbine. You're going to have slow-moving air and fast-moving air. You're going to put uneven pressure on the jet turbine. It messes with the air coming in. So you need that separator to pull the intake away from that slower-moving boundary layer. And then you get, like, laminar flow coming into your jet engine.
And what would happen if you didn't have that?
Like
just
It would
less
wear,
control.
It would wear the crap out of the turbine, and you probably wouldn't even have as much thrust because you wouldn't have a good airflow coming in. You have slow-moving air, like causing turbulence coming into the intake.
Gotcha. So cool as fuck, man.
Yeah,
I mean, look,
without
we're
a
not
doubt.
even done. So there's but the Roadrunner they just came out with. Now this is the Ghost little helicopter. This guy
It's like a flying
fits.
stick bug.
Dude, this collapses down into a rifle case.
Oh,
You can just
wow.
carry it around within like a couple minutes. Just
You got a
snap it
sniper?
all together.
It looks
sort
like
of.
a sniper. It looks like a flying.
It's a flying Barrett 50.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Barrett 50 cal.
Yeah. So they're marketing this as again like this is more surveillance. That's the big camera they have on the front, the big
Sure,
white circle.
camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Look, all I'm saying is that tail road, like that tail mass, could double as a barrel.
Yeah, it definitely looks
Yeah.
like
Be
Yeah,
a flying
barrel,
Barrett
yeah.
50
Yeah.
cal.
Just do a 180. Poof.
yeah, dude, with all like the parts on it and just the way that it's shaped, it looks like if like you
Yeah.
just took the propeller off the top, you'd be like,
Like, if you
dude, that's
put
a
a pistol
50
grip
cal.
in a magazine,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's a
Tell
50
me that's
cal.
not a sniper rifle.
It's got the little screw down for the barrel right there at the where the body goes. That's not fair. Come on. I knew what they were doing.
You're like, oh, cool, this gun comes with a tripod.
Like, no, it's a Dragonfly surveillance vehicle. Boom!
Yeah. So they market it as like
Flying sniper
more
rifle,
like
got it. Look, there's a scope on
There
it.
is a scope.
surveillance. But so with the Lattice operating system, you can actually give this thing commands. So like you can like fly it up over somewhere, and you could be like
10
follow
mile
this
perimeter
vehicle.
follow this truck when it leaves this spot. Like,
So it's got like AI semi-autonomous capability.
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, so like I mean, almost all of this, especially like the radar systems and stuff that they have. So they also have another system. I think it was in the Lattice Solutions. It might be. I think with God, I forget what their the cameras are called, but they have another like anti-air like drone technology system that is also completely autonomous that works in conjunction with the Lattice software. So like in real time, it's like figuring out what it's looking at.
Yeah.
So it's intercepting drones way before we could normally do that, and it's seeing it, and instead of giving it an alert, it's like it's already identified it. It's figured it out, it's located it, and it's giving it an action. So this is insane.
Yep. AI
And all of this stuff
changing
has
everything.
got like AI. That's full engagement on those. But like
This is
these
an
have all.
American company, right?
Yes.
Okay.
dude.
All right. Cool. Sweet.
Yes.
Love it. This thing's great.
Yeah. Yes. Dude, when I was looking at all this, like I was feeling how you're feeling.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm kind of nervous. Like my stomach hurts. Like
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's a
holy
lot.
shit.
We're
so
getting
much
into
stuff.
that. We're getting into that modern warfare.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
surveillance
territory.
state.
And so like they have, of course, and they have like just regular.
surveillance state. Yeah.
But they have just a product line of regular drones as well that are just
Like hobbyist
advertised.
drones?
Well, no, they're like, hey, you just go and buy one.
It's a government issue.
Yeah,
hobbyist
I think
drone.
Amazon's gonna start selling.
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Go to your local Hobby Lobby, pick one of these up.
Yeah, but they just sell like a heavy duty drone that's meant to just run into other drones and still be okay.
Okay.
So like
wow.
a
Run
kinetic
in-
kinetic
yeah,
attack,
yeah.
an engagement, and then still be fine. Like usually it'll come to the ground after that, but they're fine. They'll go back up.
It's not like one of the because I heard of the net shooting drones that capture other drones. I don't know if that
Yeah,
story's
this just
true or
Oh,
crashes
no,
like,
they've
right in.
totally done like
Yeah.
experiments with that and
Yeah.
tried them and probably had decent success. It doesn't take much to, mess up one of those
That's what I'm
rotors.
saying. You just
Yeah.
a little net at it. Oh,
And so then
they got fish too.
fish. Yeah, so they have a sub.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
And
kind
it's
of
3D printed.
I think the cone, I guess.
Is it made out of expired carbon fiber from Boeing?
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Back
it's
to
it's
episode 2.
Yeah, Ocean Gate. Shout out, RIP. Yeah, but of course this is unmanned, so. But yeah, probably how it should be.
Yeah,
Better off, I think.
We've learned our lesson.
But
I bet we
yeah,
haven't.
the
No, probably not. Not all
dive
of us, I
LD is this one.
Why
But-
open the fins on the inside?
Yeah, so I mean, what a crazy company, and this guy Palmer Lucky is a pretty cool cat.
I did see that name earlier. I was like, that's an interesting.
He
way to
like
spell
just wears like Hawaiian shirts.
that. Oh,
But there he is, the genius behind it all.
Palmer Lucky corporate
this guy
photo.
looks
He's in a
like
Hawaiian
everybody's
shirt.
Yeah.
cousin. Like we all have a cousin that looks like that. There's no way. Like,
Yeah. So, and I think I don't know if I can find.
No, it's leaking.
I saw that. What was
The
that? I don't know.
video.
Oh, look at he's a mullet.
Yeah.
This guy's
I mean,
living.
he's 29.
I feel inadequate.
Yeah. Yeah, when he was like 15 or 16, he made the first version of the Oculus, and then then Facebook bought it in like 2016.
Who
Crazy.
is this guy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Palmer Lucky.
Well, oh yeah, I can
Yeah,
read that.
but I mean, wild. So, but yeah, I couldn't believe. I mean, I wasn't that surprised that I hadn't heard about it, but I'm a little surprised that you hadn't heard about it. But this company's only been around since like 2018.
Well, yeah. How long ago? You said 2016. Facebook bought
Yeah.
Oculus, so
Yeah, I don't really think Facebook's like too
Still
front
wearing the Hawaiian
foremost
shirts.
about their.
Yeah, I saw this interview where he talked about. He's like, yeah, I tried to buy other clothes, and then I just found that everyone wasn't really like everyone was rejecting me buying different clothes. So he was like, I have to just wear these.
Like you have to stick. I mean, you
Yeah.
gotta keep it 100. You know.
Apparently,
stick
it
with
was
your
like
guns.
his dad was really into him, and like they were just hand-me-downs. So like as he got older, and he could fit into them, he just was like wearing them, and he just
Became
didn't really
wardrobe.
care, just like wore them, and that kind of
I
became
mean, they're
his
comfy
thing.
though. Have you ever worn a Hawaiian shirt?
They
No, I
are, but
haven't.
I don't know about all time. Like a Hawaiian shirt is a loud shirt.
Yeah.
You are like all eyes on me.
My man
Yeah.
made the first like viable VR headset, and then now makes government,
Fair.
anti-drone rockets.
But it does still.
You try and keep your like a low key. This guy's walking
Yeah.
around like a main character over
Yeah.
here. He's
Are you
got
sure
the,
he
the
isn't one?
special. Yeah, he's got special gear on. I wonder what pluses and minuses to his stats that gives him.
What
Yeah,
are you wearing?
I
This is
mean-
my ass kicking outfit.
Exactly.
I would have to expect though that Hawaiian shirts are like a little exhausting. You know.
But it's like a +4 charisma everywhere you go.
Yeah. Yeah, you could step on someone's like shoe, and they'd be like, "What?
Oh, hey,
all good, brother."
Yeah, man.
All right,
Aloha.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't find that I stumbled upon one video into the next video, and then before I knew it, I was like, I had to like actually start looking into this. But I did see a video where they have just like tough drones.
Tough drones.
Got some tough drones.
Yeah, that's some tough.
But yeah, pretty cool. So I don't know. I mean, I guess they certainly have their foot in some military contracts, but
If not now, then soon.
yeah, it's crazy.
Actually, with that, what was it? The Fury, the autonomous like plane thing. They are probably going to get a phone call about those from the government because,
That's right up their alley.
well, we're working on the next gen air dominance fighter, the NGAD, to replace the F-22 Raptor, and its whole calling card is it's going to be like for every one jet, they're going to have 6 autonomous like drone wingmen
Yeah.
accompanying it. So that's exactly what that is. They just need to put guns on it.
Well, I think that's more of an A to B kind of that the Fury. It leaves one destination and it arrives at a destination. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's like meant to fly in formation, so to speak. Like that's just like I'm
I don't
sending
think
this
it'll be-
package to your house kind of deal.
Oh, sending a package to your house.
Yeah, I think that's what that is. I don't think that's like
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit up in the air for a little bit and then
Well, no. You were saying it was mostly around like surveillance or something.
that
seems
was
to be
the
their
Fury
specialty.
was surveillance. It's named Fury and it looks like a bomb.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
Well,
it's,
the
it's
one-
marketed at
The
covering
anti-drone
ground.
thing's called the Roadrunner.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Names don't have any bearing.
That's fair.
Yeah, but there was another thing that I saw, like I think it was the Atlas. Like the way that those fly, like they do like fly in a circle, but I think it's either the Atlas or it's the Fury that can be like they'll fly like one main ship, and then like just how we do, like in our military like formations, it'll have like 3 others.
Oh, so then
that can carry
exactly
a payload and then just go pew, and then like they just can like drop missiles or like shoot something.
I thought it was the payload.
Yeah.
I thought it was like the same thing with the other drone. I thought it was like a little suicide mission.
The smaller drone was the suicide.
Yeah, that one was. I thought this one
looks
also
a little
was
bit too
bigger.
expensive to be a suicide.
That's fair.
drone.
It looked very expensive.
Yeah. And, you know, again, this company's super early, so, I mean, some things may be exaggerated, overpromised, who knows?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, I mean, to see that much innovation happening, like, all right now, you know, these cardboard drones and this, and...
No, that's
Dude,
a real innovation right there.
They took that out of wherever they got the box sneaking past the robot. Like, wherever they got that information, they're like, yeah, that's cardboard and robots don't mix.
Yeah.
You gotta...
Some guy was like, let's strap a hand grenade to an air hose.
Like a foam air hogs.
Yeah.
Oh, that works really well.
Too well. My favorite thing is, like, I don't know if you guys, like... I've seen them, but like they just come like in like a big like cardboard box, like a piece of cardboard like laminated to it. It's just a sheet.
And you just fold it?
Yeah, you just fold it up.
I haven't seen
like
that.
No, I
like literally
haven't
like a
actually.
hobby store. Like it would be
That's
like,
how they
it's
ship
on
them?
like a poster. Yeah.
It looks like
you know, like-
trash.
Yeah.
Like you ship things
Yeah.
with, and you're like, no, that's the
You know, like the trifold posters to like
Yeah,
make in
yeah,
high
yeah.
school or middle school. It's like it's the thickness of that, and then all the pieces are just like a toy set. Like they're all like laminated in there.
Pop it out and slide them together.
Yeah, dude. You just assemble it up and just.
All right, here's the box for the drone. Where's drone? No, that is
No,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. Like it was
We
only.
shipped 40 in there.
Yeah, they charged me $4 to ship this. What the hell did we buy? It's coming from Australia.
Yeah, across the world. Why is it so cheap?
Yeah, but it's
No, and
crazy.
it took out an S-400 air
Yeah,
defense system.
yeah.
That's
I know.
great.
It's just
I love it.
so crazy. So what were you saying off the podcast, like off there before we started recording? You were talking about like some scares in AI of like Elon was just kind of raising some flags.
Well, yeah,
No,
well,
it's not just Elon has long been like saying that AI poses an existential threat to humanity,
Yeah,
and if you lack the imagination to see where this is going, just think of Terminator.
yeah.
But
Which was like funny because like just to interrupt you before we keep going, because the other thing was he proposed everyone like stop.
Yeah, put the halt.
Yeah, he's like everyone needs to stop doing AI, and then people were like, okay, maybe. and then he was like, okay, I have my own AI company, go.
Yeah.
And like as how everyone looked at it, as if he was like telling everyone to like stop, and so he could catch up. But like it's not really what was going on. I mean, I think that he
his
realized
exact-
that no one was going
well-
to stop, and that he's like, okay, if you can't beat him, like
Join
I
him.
can at least
Yeah.
try to do it right.
try to safeguard.
Yeah, at least the way I think it should be done.
Yeah, he he actually was one of the early like investors or one of the founders of OpenAI, which is one of the biggest AI companies out there, and that's owned by Microsoft now. It was
Yeah.
supposed to be like a non-profit, and the exact goal was to safely like bring about AI, and then they became like for-profit and some shit. And Elon didn't like that, so he cut ties with that.
Yeah.
But so OpenAI had some whole kerfuffle. I have not looked into it too closely because there's just like a lot of details constantly like coming up. But apparently like the CEO and some other higher up whose name escapes me saw something they didn't like.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's AI.
And it got
I mean,
leaked sort of. It was called like the Q asterisk breakthrough or something like that. But they didn't like it. I don't know if they tried to interfere with it, slow it down or something, but the board, you know, which is made up of like shareholders and they want money, basically ousted them. And the entire company went up in arms. Like all the employees were like, no, we stand by them.
Yeah.
And, you know, all kinds of crazy shit was going on. Eventually, I know the CEO has been reinstated and a lot of the board members have been ousted or leaving. But the other guy, they are in talks with how he can come back to the company, I believe. But, yeah, the whole, like, the Q breakthrough or whatever, with what we were just seeing with all the military applications.
Exactly.
Of the AI, it's like, what did they see that caused this entire like debacle?
Yeah.
Like again, I don't know exactly what happened. No one outside of OpenAI knows what happened.
Yeah.
But something ruffled a lot of feathers.
Yeah, something fishy with AI, the autonomy of it specifically.
Well, I'm telling you, once it gets off to like the internet and it starts doing its own thing, like,
yeah,
I'm afraid of it. I think just like the normal little, it helps you do some math problems. Like you feed it. It's tough because how else does it get its information other than using the internet? Mm-hmm. But it's like the internet's also full of a lot of dumb, bad stuff.
The internet's populated mostly by people, and people suck.
Exactly. Yeah. Like the information on there is shoddy at best, and like with experience, you're able to navigate what's like total hocus pocus. But like a computer that just knows to read, it's like,
well, I don't even think people are that good at navigating.
They're
the
really
hocus
not.
Pocus.
They're not.
Yeah.
But so it's funny you say that. Most of the AI we have now is kind of dumb AI. They're like variations of what's called like a large language model, where they just like take. They don't really know what they're doing.
No,
they are trained to put forth a response that they think fits whatever your query is. They don't actually have like a concrete understanding. Like there was this there's this old game called Go, and basically you got like a bunch of colored pieces, white, black, and I think the I don't know the rules like that well, but
where you flip them.
Well, the goal is like you're supposed to like surround your opponent.
It's like a
Chinese
game.
It's like ultimate.
Right? Yeah.
It's like ultimate chess.
Yeah. It's a really old like ancient game, but they developed an AI that played that, and it knew the counters to like all the popular strategies and blah blah blah. It was really hard to beat. Then they had a newbie who had no idea how to play this game. Just gave him the rules and then told him, here's a really basic kind of like cheesy way to try to win. And it worked. And it kept working. Because the AI didn't actually know the rules. It's just like, okay, if someone moves, like does this move set, this is how I counter that. It doesn't know the rules. It's just like, if I see this, I do this. So using this cheesy like noob strategy that doesn't really like follow the strategies that are established to like win this game, is just completely like toasted the
blew
AI.
it out of the water.
So,
but to that point though, before they gave him the cheat code, that was working really well. Like actually, like
the
Go
people who were good at playing the game
got
struggled.
smoked. They got smoked, dude. And
Look,
they made another machine like to play Go against. And it was two machines playing Go against each other, and it was like people were like, "Holy shit, what's gonna happen? Who's gonna like?" Dude, it was wild.
The money in their hands.
That was the craziest thing. When I was hearing about that, I'm like, "You guys made two?
Yeah,
Like, stop! That was like early in AI, and I'm like, "Oh, this is already over."
Yeah.
Like, now it's kind of here, and like. I'm like kind of dancing with like, well, nothing's blown up yet. But
the point that I want to get at is the AI we have now is dumb. It can't go out and seek information. It just learns off of what we give it. Now, the next step in that whole like evolution is what's called an AGI, an artificial general intelligence. That's where it's going to get scary. That's
Give
where
it a conscience.
Arguably, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
There's no like agreed upon like textbook definition of what constitutes an AGI, but like it's going to be able to seek out information on its own. It's going to be able to modify its own algorithm to work better. It's going to be able to come up with new like inventions on its own, new ideas, new physics, and that's where we like start to lose control. Now Elon Musk, I know he's got a propensity for like being overly optimistic on timelines, but he's thinking like sometime in the next 3 years that's going to happen.
I will say though, like to play the devil's advocate, that new age AI stuff is gonna help our lives. We're gonna get some good stuff out of this.
We're gonna end up like the humans in WALL-E.
Kind of, yeah. Which I hate. I'd rather be a good neighbor than have one.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
I don't know. It's just.
I mean, I would want a Wally. He was cool.
Well, no, I'm just talking about the being completely
Eva. Eva was cool.
Useless, stuck to a chair with just your screen in front of you. And, milk, cupcake in a cup.
I would say because if that timeline is close to right, let's give it 3 to 5 years, right?
Yeah.
We're 30 some odd years into our lives. Like we didn't grow up sitting at
No,
the people in WALL-E,
can
that
you
was
survive without this?
Barely, but
yeah.
I'm just saying, the people in Wally, that was their whole life. They were born into that. That was generations of people doing that.
I was born in the darkness.
We're gonna I think we're in the sweet spot where like we get to get all the really cool stuff before we get fat, lazy, and like don't do anything at all.
Yeah,
my kids' kids, if
they're
I
screwed.
get like they're done for. Like I don't have kids, but like it's just that's where it's headed. It's like, but for me, I get to enjoy all the
played
cool,
outside.
fresh stuff. Yeah, exactly. I get all the new AI, like I get to. It's gonna start making coffee in the morning for me before I even wake up. Well, I know
they did that before.
Man, I'm
AI.
so out of touch. I don't drink coffee.
Mr. Coffee from the '80s, man.
I mean, like I was getting to making the rest of the breakfast maybe, but like everything will be done for me. I don't have to
like Fluff. I don't want to blow your mind or anything, but we have
example. I'll agree.
the technology is here, Fluff.
You're in the future.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Like nobody's like we're getting there, but I think
you're totally right.
Yeah,
I feel like
think there's gonna be
we're in
some
this
good
like
stuff.
honeymoon stage of it all, and like I think like for like you said, like the youngest, like if you're born today, it will be difficult to make sure that you navigate the waters correctly. I think for us, like you were saying, we didn't grow up with it, but like we get it now.
Yeah.
It's like if you grew up with it, and there's so many kids that are right now that like are like there's an iPad in their hand.
Oh, I was gonna say the toddlers with the iPads.
Yeah, it's like so much of that, and like, and it's it's so easy for a parent, and like I don't like blame them completely, but just to be like, shh,
take this, go off.
Oh man, it can be difficult, and
I mean, at the very least, put something educational on.
But here's the other side of the coin, though, too. Of course, and I don't think anyone.
Well, yeah, I'm saying
anyone
any
misses
parents
that
who
point.
use an iPad, just like make sure you know what's on that iPad and what your kid's looking at, because the internet's a scary place.
There's some weird
for
things
sure.
I've seen.
But yeah, I mean, but the other thing is that like if you don't give them to them now, like, are they going to be behind?
Right.
Oh yeah, they're going to be like
Because-
socially stunted.
Yeah,
maybe not even socially, but maybe like just like technologically. You know what I mean? Because I bet
fair.
like if any like kid today is in middle school, they can probably walk circles around me on a keyboard.
For sure, yeah.
Actually,
Like-
a lot of them struggle with keyboards.
I wouldn't say the keyboard, but the internet as a whole.
Oh, I guess there's
Actually,
not
you know
too
what?
many
I've
desktop.
Gen Z, the younger ones, are actually worse at navigating like computers and troubleshooting shit than we are.
But phones.
Because we grew up with janky, buggy, first generation
issues
software that we had to work around and figure it out. When they get something that doesn't work, they're just like, oh.
Should I Google this?
Yeah.
Should I give it to my
Yeah.
parents? They'll just give it to their parents, I guess. I don't know. Like, there's got to be
Look, man,
some
they
truth
never
in
had to
both of
defragment
that.
a hard drive and redo the registry on a Windows XP machine.
I've never had to do that.
I had to.
Yeah, boy, my first time. No.
Yeah, right.
No, yeah, you just called me.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the internet defragger. Or
Yeah.
whatever the hell you said to me.
Yeah. Here I'm talking a big game. I had an iPad the whole time. My entire life. Yeah, dude. I mean, it still is crazy.
To do all the computer
Hey,
stuff.
your parents actually
they
liked
were
it and
they're
were good
the
at
computer
computers.
nerd stuff. I can't do anything on a computer because I was always like, I don't know what I did. It's broke fixing kind of deal. Like,
Yeah.
they were. Like,
I would
so
act
good
like
with
I like to
computers.
tinker with the computer, so I'd break something and go,
Yeah.
oh, and then have to figure out how to fix it
Yeah.
before my parents found out.
Yeah. I don't know if they were like software gurus so much as they were hardware gurus. Like these guys were just ripping computers apart and throwing them together. I assume they had to do something with like the BIOS and stuff, so they have to have like a basic software knowledge. But they weren't in the Linux system reprogramming.
I know
like,
nothing about
yeah,
Linux.
that's what
I'm
I'm
not
saying.
that
Like,
far.
they weren't
Yeah.
into they weren't doing anything crazy, no
Yeah.
hacking stuff. But yeah, most of the issues, parts
Hack the
problems or
mainframe,
anything.
I'm
Yeah,
in.
they were. They had like all kinds of computers built.
You ever
Scrap
do
parts.
LimeWire?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've downloaded.
That
all
was
kinds
like
of viruses.
everyone's
That's
introduction.
What taught me a lot
I was gonna
about
say-
maintaining
Yeah,
I was
it.
gonna
that
say I didn't want to
was-
speak for you, but I was like, I'm pretty sure like that's how Adrian like started
Yeah.
his like, because it was like, well, first like figure it out, and then like you download the wrong thing, you're like,
I started figuring
and then you're
out-
like, I might throw up. Oh no,
downloaded
I'm gonna be
bags.
sick.
Yeah, no, you learn quick what file size like a song
correct.
shouldn't be. Yeah,
This has a 356 kilobits, but it's 2.8 megabytes.
You learn fast. you know,
Yeah.
titles and such. And
Yeah.
but it's fun.
Did
And
anyone
kids
else,
won't get that. They won't get that.
Did anyone
today.
else have this issue with LimeWire where like you were looking for a song and you'd find one that was like shit quality?
Yeah,
So
all the
you'd
time.
search for, a better quality one, and it was all just copies of the same shit.
Yeah, they
quality.
used that one as like
As the
their
seed.
their seeding.
Yeah.
God, I hated that.
Yeah. Yeah, which also probably started your just infatuation with sound quality.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And instruments.
Well, that
and,
and my upbringing in general. Like,
of course, your dad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
his dad's,
definitely.
like,
loved
super
all that
into
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never
Yeah,
got big
definitely.
into digital music, but now he has Apple Music.
Yeah, it's funny to see some of that stuff come back too. Like people are now buying like the
Vinyl.
Yeah.
records.
Oh, dude, when over at our buddies, he has some really nice like old school
Yeah.
like hip hop and rap vinyls, like
Sweet.
really like Ghostface Killer's first album. Basically all of
Hell
like,
yeah.
Wu-Tang's
Yeah.
like their individual members' first albums.
Yeah.
He's got most of them. It's
Yeah.
insane. It's like such a cool little collection.
You've been
type
in my
deal.
you've been to my parents' basement.
Oh, your dad's
He's got a record
insane.
store down
yeah,
there.
he's got a full blown store.
Dude, I
Well, he
think
used to
that-
work at record stores,
Well,
right?
worked at several stores and
Yeah,
did music. And
doing
like
that,
when
yeah.
records went out of favor, they were getting rid of the shelves. He was just like, "Can I have those?"
I'll have that.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'll take your entire stock.
Yeah, he's got he's got 2 shelves that came right out of like a retail store,
Yeah.
just filled with records.
That's crazy. Because they were just like, we don't want them.
Yeah, they were moving to tapes and CDs.
tapes
Yeah.
and CDs.
I know, but it feels like it's kind of crazy to think that like, hey, look, this doesn't have a value right now, but it will.
No one knew that.
I know, right? But I mean, like now it seems like so obvious now. So like anyone, like
Everything
shout
seems
out
obvious
to anyone who
now,
has a VHS tape still, fucking find them,
Yeah.
put them in a box,
What was
make
that,
sure they're
was that-
safe.
It was Pete Davis, I think, who was talking about like buying a bunch of tapes, like some comedian, I
Yeah.
forget, but he
It
was
was
just,
him.
Yeah.
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 Was it?
Yeah, he was just like, yeah, so right before tapes got real popular, I just started buying all the new unopened tapes. I've got like 20,000 now.
Yeah.
It's like they went from like being worth like $10 to like $35, $40 each.
wow.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm the king of tapes.
I didn't
Yeah.
think VHSs would come back.
Unopened, sealed.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that, but like,
Bro,
But I get what you're.
Our
the
generation
degradation
is
of
getting
tapes is like
our
that.
generation is now getting old enough to appreciate
Yeah, the things we
nostalgia
had is like,
hardcore.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's-
And we all have jobs where we're starting to like actually make money.
Yeah.
that's why
But I get.
cars as we were kids. That all
90s.
the cars from our childhood are just
Yeah.
80s and 90s are going
Yeah.
through a boom right
I
now.
know you and I talked about that too, which like it's still like it's something akin to like traffic, where like you can say like what the reason there's traffic, it just doesn't make sense to me. Is like who's paying $25,000 for a Honda S2000 with 185K?
yeah.
I just-
how often are they swapping?
I know
hands
people
that they're
just
worth that
love.
much? Yeah.
I mean, like what Adrian's point is just that like people love that car so much, and it's a beautiful car. Don't get me wrong, reliable, great, fast, cool, convertible, awesome. It's got everything you need.
Checks all the right boxes.
yeah.
Except for $25,000.
Yeah.
Jesus. Like buy a Corvette.
At that
This
point,
is
yeah.
insane.
Checks the same boxes. Kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, I mean, pretty close.
Minus build quality.
Yeah.
Whoa, how dare you? No, I'm just kidding.
How dare you?
How dare you?
Besides, I think there's some sort of law where you need like a really bushy porn stash to buy a C4 Corvette.
C4 specifically, yeah.
No, you just
Which-
need to own a pair of like Reeboks or something and
Cut-off
white tube
jeans.
socks and cut off jeans if you want the C5.
You have to have a pair of pit vipers in the car at all times,
Yeah.
like, just in case somebody
I'm
stops
talking
you.
about the C5. You need to have like Reeboks,
Oh,
your
okay.
New Balances with
Dads,
the white
yeah.
tube socks,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
the cut off jorts.
Jorts down to just above the knee.
But yeah, I think the other thing, like, I feel like records, that was an easy
Yes.
one to like to come back. Yeah, to come back because like it's got like such a like there's such a like an experience of it of like setting
Oh
it
yeah,
and
it's
like
a
the
whole
thing.
event.
Yeah, so like I just can't imagine, like the Nintendo coming back
Yeah.
and like just being like, this is what we've been waiting on. Like it just sucks. Everything, you know what I mean? Like we want to come back, but like that was one of those things where like it could come back and you're like, okay, no, this is awesome. But like VHS tapes where like you put it in and then you're like, oh, it's gonna be awesome, and you're like,
You gotta rewind.
I gotta rewind it. And you're like, oh, okay, well, don't eat all the popcorn yet.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna take a few minutes, and you're
Then
just
the
like,
tape
okay,
rips
okay,
or
yeah,
breaks,
exactly.
yeah.
I think
Like
it's gonna be way
I mean,
way
you've
less
been
cool.
rocking like
Yeah,
music tapes in your Saturn.
And the magnetic strips are terrible.
Yeah,
They
all
don't
like cassette,
last. Yeah.
yeah.
I have a couple tapes where like there's like one song I really like, and in the middle of it, it's just garbled and it's just totally trashed. And then because it's a tape, I flip it and it's on the middle of another song I really like, and it's like, dude, God.
Yeah, but
And
then
like,
you
does
left
it?
a
It
couple
wears
in the
out,
car
right?
And they melted.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that was another issue. I don't know if like 2023 or 2022 is hotter than 1997 per se. The sun's different. I don't know,
Global warming,
but
bro.
the tapes that I thought you could leave in cars can't be left in
Well,
cars.
what's crazy
evidently.
is the ones that got the most damage were the
the
brand new
brand
tapes.
new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't make them like
those
they used to.
They sure don't. But I did lose
That's
a couple
probably what
good
it
albums
is.
on that sun trip, I guess. I don't even know.
Yeah, it was one day.
It was one day I came out to my car and there was a bunch of folded, mangled tapes. And I was like, dude. I was like, who came through here with a blowtorch?
Or are they like just sitting on your seat?
They were in the car, but I have a case. Like I have an actual.
Yeah.
Were they
nice,
in the case when they melted?
I don't know, because that was back when I only had a couple, so maybe they weren't in the case. But it's not like they were like.
They might have been in
They
direct
might have been
sunlight.
just like sitting on the passenger
Yeah,
seat. Now that I
could've
think
been.
about it.
But
But
still,
still.
yeah, right.
Come on.
You lost the awesome mix.
I
from,
lost
the Guardians
both.
of the Galaxy.
Both tapes.
Oh,
Both awesome mixes.
That's so cool.
I lost them.
I didn't know they,
Beatles, like one
Yeah,
or
they
two
released them
Beatles
on
tapes.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they're actual like the ones.
soundtrack.
Yeah, the soundtrack. It's on that
No
tape that
way.
he had from the movies. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool as fuck.
It's
Sounded
a great
great.
soundtrack too.
Yeah.
It was a great soundtrack. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was cheap for all the
Yeah.
great songs on there. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it was. Those got toasted. Those a couple Beatles albums, and then I think one of my Rush albums.
Ooh.
Not the good one, so I'm alright with that.
Yeah.
You're saying that some Rush isn't good?
No. It was just not.
Oh,
it was
jumping
my
to conclusions
favorite
here.
Rush. I have a.
That's not what he said.
particular-
That's not what he said, see?
Yeah.
Going about it all
Words in my
wrong.
mouth.
Going about it all wrong.
What's the matter with you?
Well, to wrap up Elon and SpaceX, Adrian, take us off. It was a Starship.
That was an awful pun.
Oh.
No, yeah, but Starship flew again.
Yes.
And wasn't a complete 100% success, but it was way better than last
Yeah.
time. I know I showed you pictures and clips
Yeah.
and videos of
And 33 engines on was cool.
yeah, all 33
And
and
then watching them. Boop, boop.
oh
was pretty
yeah,
cool,
when they
yeah.
staged off.
Yeah.
They went out and like I think they shut off like 5 at a time or something
Was
from
it
the outside,
5?
and then it shut off a couple more, and then
keyboard
it was
is
just
dead.
the last 3 on the inside that they kept on, and then it separated, and then the booster exploded.
You sure did.
But the ship kept going, and that was good. That was the first time they successfully did a stage separation. They did something different this time called a hot stage, where they ignited the second stage while it was still attached to the booster. That's not that that's never been done before. In fact,
Yeah.
the Russians, a lot of their rockets actually do that. But all of those rockets don't have to be used again. So, blasting the top of your rocket with another rocket's not very good for its
Yeah.
longevity unless you build it right.
Yeah.
But yep, so first stage was perfect in its flight up, so it did as good as every other rocket, that's out flying now.
Yeah.
They did the hot stage, that worked. They managed to separate. The booster got turned around, but when it went to ignite its engines, not all of them came on, and then it looked like they fired the flight termination system just to end it right there. And then the second stage kept going, and it made it almost all the way through its planned engine burn. I think it cut off 30 seconds early before it also self-destructed.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, not like 100% success, but way better than the first flight where it made it about a third of the way to its desired altitude before it started doing somersaults.
Yeah.
And then the FTS fired and didn't break the rocket, and it kept doing somersaults until it finally just collapsed on itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, the new flight termination system that they put on it basically vaporized the entire booster. There was
Yeah, it
nothing left of
sent
that.
it. Yeah.
It was gone. But as far as to what happened, SpaceX hasn't released any official information, but there's a huge online community of people much smarter than me that analyze every bit of telemetry and was kind of piecing together what they think had happened.
Yeah.
And as for the first booster and why it failed to reignite all its engines and terminated, it looks like when they fired the second stage and when stage separation happened, it caused the booster to actually decelerate, even though it had 3 engines still going.
Yeah.
And what that did was cause the fuel to slosh way up away from the bottom where where the engines are.
Yeah.
So a lot of those engines might have ingested like air and did not ignite
Because of the slosh.
because of the sloshing, because of the deceleration.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I have to imagine there's baffles, right?
there are, but I don't
Not
think they
good
intended.
enough.
I don't think they intended the booster to go through deceleration.
Like that.
The whole point of keeping the 3 engines on the bottom on and keeping them on during the flip is to keep
Momentum.
positive acceleration, positive G-force, force like all the fuel and oxygen to the bottom of their tanks so that you can't suck up any air.
Yeah.
But there was a pretty good deceleration event during stage separation. I think that's what ultimately doomed
kicked
it.
by how many other boosters from the other
Yeah, it got kicked by 6 engines coming off the Starship.
Yeah.
So, but they're gonna have like a difficult balance to find there, because if they have if they throttle up the super heavy booster too much, then Starship's not going to be able to separate, because at that point the booster is lighter than the Starship, because Starship's still full of fuel, like topped off. So if they keep the engines burning too hard,
Run out of fuel?
well, no, it won't be able to accelerate. Starship won't be able to pull away from it as it's pushing it.
Oh, yeah, I gotcha.
So they got to figure out, like, okay, how much throttle do we need to keep on the booster where Starship can pull away, but it won't shunt the booster backwards.
Yeah.
So they figure that out, and I'm not a rocket scientist or a physicist, but the flip maneuver looked a little fast to me. I don't know if that was because, Starship pushing the top of the booster as it started to rotate, but, they might play with that a little bit just to
Yeah.
reduce fuel slosh.
That could be
period.
another issue.
Could be, again,
Yeah.
this is
Fast.
all of
Yeah.
this is speculation. Every last bit of this is speculation. And
I mean, I think we're all in uncharted territory. I mean, like all as SpaceX as a whole. So I would say it's all a little uncharted territory. They've been kind of baking it up as they go, I think. And, that's the beauty, and like you've said it a million times. It's just and I've said it. I've repeated it a million times. It's the beauty of what SpaceX is doing. It's just this
fun.
you always say, failing forward. You know, they
It
just
makes
like
sense.
keep making
Keep making
attempts
progress.
and learning from all of the progress.
Yeah, it's easy to
It's
look
so
at the first flight test of Starship and how so much went wrong.
Yeah.
Dug a crater into the launch mount.
Yeah.
Had 3
Which that went
engines
good,
out
right?
from the back.
The
that's
deluge.
fine.
Yeah.
That actually worked great.
Yeah. Sweet.
But 3 engines out from the get, and then just losing more and more engines the whole way up, and then doing somersaults in the air.
Yeah.
And it's easy to look at that and go, so much went wrong. There's no way they're going to be able to iron this out.
Yeah.
And then their second flight is, I'm not going to say flawless, but like at least like 90% better.
Yeah.
What's the third flight going to be?
Yeah.
And the other thing,
What's the gap between those two? That was a while ago, wasn't
8 months.
it? Okay.
I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
And
Checks out.
Elon's trying to
bad.
get the third launch out by this month.
Oh shit.
Accounting for Elon time, I'd say keep your eyes open for about February.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, Christmas is ULA is launching their Vulcan rocket for the first time, supposedly. So there's some exciting stuff happening.
Nice. Very cool.
But
So they just launched some Starlink satellites too.
well, they do that like twice a week now.
Yeah. It's pretty
It's
cool.
ridiculous.
I know. There's like somebody just floating around up there.
But
It's a lot.
they managed to also launch the second Starship flight. They had a flight window of 20 minutes. They had 20 minutes where, from I think it was, what time was I watching? It was like early. It was like 7 to like 7:20.
Yeah.
They had to launch in that window.
Yeah.
For a regular rocket, like oftentimes there's holds and whatnot,
Yeah.
where it's like, okay, well, we got to check something. We got to double check. We got to make sure this is good, blah, blah, blah. So a 20-minute window is just like tight.
Yeah.
For a prototype rocket, that's like unheard of, and they managed to hit it. So I want to go down and see this thing fly in person.
Yeah.
It's the difficult part has always been like, okay, when they announce it, all right, I'm gonna have short notice. It's gonna be expensive to get like tickets at short notice to fly down to like Texas. But then it's like, okay, I get down there and
Delayed.
we're delayed like a week.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I
Yeah.
go back.
Yeah.
So if they can like keep getting this more reliable, where they say we're gonna launch here, and they launch there, and I can plan around that, I'm going.
Yeah.
But even this flight was they delayed it one day.
Take a full 2 weeks off of work and buy a one-way ticket.
Well, my dad wants to see it. My dad wants to see it.
Yeah.
Like he's really excited to go down and see that. He was telling me, he was like, if you can get 3 weeks off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do we have money for 3 weeks in like a hotel down there?
Yeah.
Or like a rental car?
As long as it's not like spring break, because it is, I think it's kind of college townish.
Well, South Padre Island right down there is like a spring break.
Spring break, yeah.
Retreat kind of thing. But
so hey, if you
could
get it off
really
season,
fun,
on
season,
or you might want to get a time party.
But yeah, and then the second stage, like I said, it made it like 99% of the way through its burn. But towards the end, some people with like some really powerful telescopes were able to spot like a streamer coming off of it, and the telemetry showed the liquid oxygen started dropping off quickly. So what a lot of people think happened is it sprung an oxygen leak and ran out basically. So it shut down and terminated because it wasn't going to be able to make its intended flight path. And I think some people were theorizing that if they let it go, it would have come down like over land somewhere.
Oh shit!
So yeah, they terminated that before that could have become an issue.
Yeah. But
they fixed that leak and they fixed the fuel slosh problem. And again, this is all speculation. But they would have had it.
Yeah.
Whether the Starship would have survived re-entry because it lost a lot of heat shield tiles on the way up, that's another question.
Yeah.
It did lose a lot.
It was dropping them the whole way up. But the one that's supposed to go up next, I think it's 28 is the ship.
What do they do with those?
What?
I mean, they have to find a lot of that stuff, right? The best they can.
The scrap.
Yeah.
No, I was wondering.
Can I buy it?
Well, so
that would go for a lot of money. I feel like.
Right.
If you had gone down to Boca Chica after IFT-1, you could have just found it all over the beach and taken it home.
Yeah.
In fact, there's still like chunks of concrete from the launch pad all over.
So you heard it here, folks. Adrian's not telling you what to do, but
the Starship
if you want some free spacecraft shit,
the government doesn't want you to do that. The Starship pieces are free. I've reconstructed a Starship in my basement. But
so we're close, eh? They are close, I should say.
They're getting closer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the third launch makes it. But Ship 28, that's right. They they've got people have cameras all down there, just constantly recording what they're doing down there. And apparently on Ship 28, they were like using suction cups to like yank on all of the tiles on the ship to make sure it wasn't going to like fall off.
Yeah. And they did.
They did.
Well, no. This is for the next one. They didn't do that to Ship 20. Was it 27 that just flew?
Was it 6? That was 26? I don't know these things.
25 and 9. I think it was 25. Maybe. Because 24 and 7 are the one that flew first. I think it was 25 and 9.
Do you know better
Probably.
than me, man?
But yeah,
regardless.
They just, every time they did something and a tile would fall off, they just slap another one on there. They didn't really test it.
Yeah. Nice.
But in another landmark, SpaceX has successfully landed 251 Falcon 9 rockets as of like yesterday.
Is that what I think it is?
251?
They've landed.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's wild.
That's more than some rockets have flown.
What's the next one over to the left there?
This one?
Yeah. I think I've been wanting to talk about that. I saw that earlier. I have absolutely wanted to talk about this.
Okay, so we're
moving on.
Moving on.
I'm so sorry.
Moving on. Dude, so I stumbled upon this. I don't know. Do you know anything about this?
I saw it a couple days ago as well.
Yeah.
Just like surface knowledge.
So Rockabillies is a slang term that they've just kind of given themselves, but a community of people in Japan, specifically Tokyo and the city, are just huge American rock and roll fans, and they literally dress in all the garb, all the denim with the hair slicked back. I mean, we're talking Elvis impersonations, big Johnny Cash kind of guy. Yeah, I mean, it's It's so crazy, and like, but yeah, like, it's just look at
I mean, the drip is
the
a magic.
It
drip.
is, yeah.
I mean, and we were talking about like things going full circle and kind of coming back. I mean, you think like this fashion's coming back, you know, like the
I don't think it ever
zippers and the. I have not seen someone in a leather jacket with
That's
the
fair.
zippers, you know, with like the hair, the jeans
Slick
cuffed
back,
up,
yeah.
you know.
It's such a good look. And
The
these guys pull it off.
sunglasses.
They look
Dude,
so good in
these
it.
are some
like,
sharp fellas.
Yeah.
Some sharp
It
fellas.
works real well. It adds
Yeah.
nicely. They got
But
the
yeah,
color.
they're
Look
cool.
at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the thing that I saw, and I think it was the same that you saw, Fluff, was that like these guys are just like hanging out in like a Central Park
Yeah.
kind of like
Well,
area
yeah,
of
it was talking
Tokyo.
about it. Yeah, there was like a public pedestrian area.
The
or something,
hairspray.
and they're just like,
Yes. But
and they're
yeah,
just,
there's a
like,
bunch
hang
of
out,
them,
have a
just
good
like
time. The
like
music's
air
playing,
guitar.
yeah, and they're
like-
just like having a blast. It looks like so much fun.
yeah,
Then you've got
Rockabillies.
those guys, and then you've also got like the old West enthusiast in Japan.
Yeah.
Dress up like cowboys.
But
Practice.
I'm
the
sure they're the
gunslinging.
same. Yeah, they're very similar.
Well, I mean, like we have
Yeah,
that
look at 'em
here. You know,
dancing.
we call 'em-
Yeah.
we've got that here in America. Yeah, they're called weebs.
Weebs. Yeah, well, that's when. Yeah, it's the flip side of it.
Yep. So it only makes sense that they've got Mara
So
weeb.
wait, are these people? I don't want to say like I look down on weebs, but like I think
They're
of a weeb as like
Marabous
a
or what do they call that?
weeaboos or
Weeb,
something.
well, weeb is short for weeaboo.
Yeah.
But they're a marabous.
Oh, marabous. I don't know. Is that like I don't know. I feel like if I walked up on this group of people, I'd be like, "You guys rock." Dude.
Yeah,
like,
you guys are
cool.
Yeah, you guys are the best.
Well, that depends.
You guys
if
rock.
they're like overly like, well, you know how, again, not all weebs, but like the stereotypical basement dwelling weeb, how they act. If they acted like that, but in with American culture stuff, then yeah, you'd probably look at them and go like, "You need to go touch grass,
Well,
bud."
you know, you see, like, I think this is what I was watching.
But yeah, no,
Yeah.
oh, they're just
They're just
They're
having
boot scooting,
a blast.
boogieing, bro.
Yeah, bro. Oh, the
Oh, I don't know about all
breakdancing.
that.
Whoa.
they're in the rain. That's dedication.
Yeah.
They got all the bandanas and everything. It's like so perfect.
Yeah, I mean these guys rule.
Studded
I mean, like, dude, like,
I just can't imagine a group of like Japanese people seeing a bunch of like weird Americans huddled up with their waifu pillows and being like, "Those guys are cool."
Yeah.
Like,
you know
I
what's
don't think- I don't
weird is
see
that
that
I feel
happening.
like if I like wanted to like attach myself to a Japanese culture and just go into New York City and just do this, like, how would that be perceived?
not well.
Yeah, I
Not
probably
well.
wouldn't want to do that. I don't think I could convince anyone that I was truly in love with the culture.
Yeah,
They'd be like,
exactly.
dude, like, you should be arrested.
buddy.
But and it's a shame too because like I mean not to get like we're gonna tangent to like a little bit of a hot topic, but
Yeah,
like
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
there's a lot of people that like have gone around and been like asked someone like, hey, like is my outfit?
Yeah,
like,
I've seen those videos.
You know,
yeah, and they're like, no,
is it
I think
offensive?
it's
And I like
awesome.
ask
yeah.
like college kids like if they're like and
Yeah,
they're like a
US
sombrero
college
and a
kids.
poncho, whatever.
That's
And they're
not
like,
your
yeah.
culture. That is appropriation.
And then they ask someone who's like
The
actual
actual
heritage
culture.
is
They're like, no, you did it well.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You
Like,
look
yeah,
awesome,
you look
man.
great.
Like, yeah, and because
no,
it's
enjoy my culture.
exactly, yeah,
and
yeah.
it's for me. I'm all about. I like this. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's so cool. You guys look
Exactly.
awesome. Like,
I feel the same way as being like born and raised in America. Like I
Yeah.
love this. I
I love
that they
the
love
appreciation
it.
for our culture.
Exactly.
Yeah,
our culture's
drinking,
cool.
Drinking
man.
beer.
I would like to see if those same college students would go up to them and go, "Hey, you can't do that."
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
right,
Oh, we
yeah.
get punched by these guys. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. They're gonna get their ass beat.
Japanese Elvis, rock and roll.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's super cool, and
It
I
is
saw
cool.
this, and I was like, yeah, like, people need to know that this exists. It's super cool.
Mhm.
Yeah,
The hair's killing me, man. That's so
I know.
I
perfect.
wish
I
my
know.
hair did that.
yeah, me too.
No, you got it easy. You can wear a wig. You're already there.
Oh,
Yeah.
true. I mean, I guess we all could. I mean, you can stuff some wigs. I mean, there's a lot of people who like have some hair and like pop a wig in.
Wow.
You just got a little cap.
When I for
lot
Halloween,
of
I
work.
dressed up as an old lady. I had a wig on. I had all
Oh,
this
you got to
hair.
put a picture of that.
I'm pulling a picture
Oh,
up for that.
Get my mouth shut.
Oh, it's a shame I didn't
Halloween's
have the Buick
fun.
for you to drive around in. That would have been perfect.
know,
Little
that
old
would've been
lady
so
in a
good.
Buick.
That would have been so funny,
Yeah.
especially now that it's painted.
And like, I mean, look, Halloween and all, I get it. but you still could.
Yeah.
You could just do it. You could just put it all
You show
on.
up at the bar again.
I've done it. It was for Halloween, but I did show up to the bar twice.
Yeah.
Well,
that
no, you
costume.
gotta go into the details about how you ended up dressing like an old lady for a wedding
wasn't a
reception
wedding.
thing. The
No.
wedding reception.
Oh, that one as well. Yeah,
That's
did
where the
happen.
picture I
That's
have is
where
from.
You have a picture from that?
Well, I took it before you left. Remember?
No. Darn it. Yeah, no. So a friend of mine that I used to work with was he's been with his girlfriend for a couple years now, and kind of like out of the blue, they like eloped to a degree. Like they got married without really any like reception. I don't know how things work, marriage
Probably
works,
like
but like they
courthouse
didn't.
marriage or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, they didn't like. There was no big
Yeah.
family thing. There weren't catering or any of that. It was just they got some paperwork, and then when we went out to dinner, somebody witnessed and signed it. That's what it was. So he told me, he's like, look, because it's so low key, we're doing like a costume thing. And I was like, I got you. Like, I like going all out. So I was like, I've got a costume. I wore it to a music festival before. I'm pretty confident in it.
Which is a great description.
Yeah. So, sure enough, I had it all. I have an old lady. I have a white wig, the babushka. I have
send that picture to you now just so you
can-
have it.
You'll see. Yeah, actually, let's do for reference. But I had it all.
Yeah.
I've got bloomers. I've got frilly socks. I've got fuzzy slippers. The whole 9 yards. So I go out. And as I finally get to the venue, I'm sorry,
You get to the
10
bar?
minutes before I get, no. Oh yeah, I went to the bar first, but like it's it's just like it's like I think 7 o'clock at this point, 7, 8 o'clock. I go to the bar not far from our house. It's a really good spot. I have a blast there all the time.
You're a regular and you're known.
I am known lightly, but like I haven't been going lately. But I go in, everybody sees me, they're like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Like, this is like
I'm not sure if that's how you should talk to a lady.
Got a purse and everything. And like, it's a
He had an
it's
airsoft gun in the purse.
I
so-
did have
Jeez.
well, it had an
Packing
orange
heat.
tip. Had an orange tip,
Nah.
so it was good.
Yeah.
But it's a what are they called? It's what do I call it? A honky tonk. It's a honky tonk.
Yeah,
bar.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
more.
They have square dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see a big man dressed as an old lady. It doesn't really.
Yeah.
But it was funny because everybody was just like, dude, what the hell? And I'm like, yeah. So I leave. I'm 10 minutes away from getting to like the reception area. We're at this like nice restaurant that she works at. And I see everybody's dressed in black. I'm sorry, I skipped ahead. 10 minutes before I get there, he's like, oh yeah, or you can just wear all black. Like, you don't have to do the whole costume. I'm full dressed. Yeah. So I get there, and I get to the door, and my friend sees me, and he just goes, oh no. I see that through the glass door. I'm like, this is not good. So I open the door. No one's in costume. One person has like an Ice King crown, but he's in like a really nice like suit type thing, and I'm like, this is rough,
dude.
So yeah, I'm sitting. Everybody's super nicely dressed in all their like wedding reception attire, and I am dressed as an old lady. It just looks so wrong. It was rough. I thought the bar was bad. That was 10 times worse.
Oh my god. Yeah, they just like try to like act like a stranger, just make sure no one knows it was you.
I owned it. I just was like, you know what? I'm in this predicament. I gotta roll with it. Like,
confidence is key.
Yeah. I wasn't backing down for nothing. So yeah, I took pictures as the old lady of the group.
Dude, that's so funny.
Yeah.
What are the odds that everyone was like, I mean, like, I guess like everyone has like something they could wear to a wedding or like,
For a costume, you can go like I figured an old lady costume for a wedding reception. That's kind of on brand.
Yeah.
Like there's lots of old ladies at weddings. So
but Fluff went all out. Not only did he have like that, he had like pearl bracelet,
I had pearls.
Oh
earrings.
yeah. It was
Yeah,
not
yeah,
thrown
the bush
together.
correct.
This was
He had-
this was
Werther's Originals.
Werther's
in his
Originals
purse.
in his purse. Yeah.
you just offering them out.
Yeah, hard candies. I had
you
crumpled
eaten?
up receipts,
He went and
CVS
got, like,
receipts
a
in the
pink
purse.
wallet.
Yeah, I had
You
this.
should just write somebody a check.
Yeah.
I don't have any cash, but I'll write you a
I
check.
swapped all of the stuff from my wallet, like all my cards and like ID and everything, of cash into a woman's clutch thing that I bought at Five Below, or not Five Below. I'm sorry, Ross or something, or what's the secondhand store that everybody knows? Goodwill. Thank you. Yeah. So I went all out on this.
He was running around the apartment like, I need things
freaking
for
out
my
about
purse.
them. Yeah.
Like something to put in it.
I had to make it heavy enough.
Yeah.
And,
And, then the airsoft gun went in there, so Grandma's packing heat.
Packing heat, Grandma.
Everyone loved that.
Yeah.
You had the 1911 too.
Yeah, I had the 1911.
The classic.
Yeah.
2 World Wars. That one.
Oh, dude, that is hilarious.
If only you had like a concealed carry permit.
Yeah.
Why? Why would I have needed that for the costume? Yeah, it was so fun though. It was a blast. I'm never retiring that costume. I don't think.
Didn't you have? You told me you had guys like hitting on you.
Well, yeah. So like as jokes, and I don't think I hope nobody actually confused me. But my favorite part was, I was walking to the bathroom at the bar, and this older guy goes, "Wrong one." I was like, you got me, sir. I was like, you're dead. When I come back out there. He was a good sport.
My favorite thing was like, I've seen him in that costume before. Because like you said, he had it for like a music festival.
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing to say.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah, that doesn't sound much better. But like when he walked out that night dressed like that, and I knew he was getting dressed in it. It caught me so off guard.
Yeah, you see him like walking out, and you're like,
yeah.
It's just
from
like
me too. Yeah.
whoa,
oh.
And you know what it was? It's the dress, the wig, and the beard. It's just,
yeah. I guess
weird look,
the beard's gonna give you away.
The
Because
bearded
it's like
lady.
the white curly.
Yeah.
It's a short curly white haired wig.
Yeah.
And a beard.
Yeah.
just the facial hair.
And I have my stature as well. I was sitting in a dress like a big dude.
Yeah.
6 foot, like big, like.
Fun times.
Yeah.
It's a blast.
Yeah,
I
I-
absolutely would do it again.
Yeah, I haven't dressed up in a long time, but speaking of that, we would do like parties at the house I used to rent, before it became like a bit more of a citizen of a taxpayer. But we would do like you had to dress up, for the party. So we did like a Goodwill party, which is pretty crazy. I had like a woman's blazer on. It was crazy.
Goodwill's a great place to shop.
Yeah, I mean, the drip was incrable. I'm just gonna say,
I bet.
Yeah, but it's amazing what people will just throw away.
Right.
But yeah, we did. I think the last party that we did, I was a gorilla, and I have a onesie gorilla suit that I just won't get rid of.
Yeah, do it if you want.
Yeah, dude. Next
I
podcast
also
we'll
have
do
one,
it.
yeah.
We'll do the suits.
I also have a gorilla onesie that I also.
we should have done a Halloween podcast all dressed up in costumes.
That would have been fun,
Dude. Next year,
There you
definitely we'll do.
I was thinking we're getting close to Christmas. I have an ugly Christmas sweater I could have been wearing
got
right
it.
now.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
Well, we're not close enough. I'm sure.
Yeah.
There'll be another
We're
one
in
that you
December.
Yeah, but like
We got like a
that's
couple
later.
weeks.
Yeah. It's early December.
Yeah, if we
Well, we'll
squeeze
try
out
to-
another
we-
one
we-
before like the holiday madness.
Dude, I think we kind of have to.
Yeah,
just
almost,
christen off
yeah.
the year with. I mean, we don't have to do it on Christmas. We'll all be pretty busy, but like we'll
Yeah,
try to.
I'll do it a little before.
Yeah,
and
do it like
send
that
out on
weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
little creamy
But-
special.
Yeah,
Creamy
hell yeah. Creamy.
Hey,
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas. Merry Chrysler.
Happy
Respect,
Christmas.
bro.
So, I can't believe how bad the Formula One event was. In
Vegas.
In Vegas. I mean, it was terrible.
I haven't heard anything.
So
about
the
it.
big thing, the manhole cover that came off. And
I've heard nothing about
Yeah.
it.
so Ferrari lost a car
Yeah.
in practice.
Yeah, and it's not even a very big manhole cover, but just from the velocity of how fast they're going and how
sucked it up.
sticky.
Yeah. No, normally when they do these street Grand Prix, they go around and they weld those things shut.
Yeah.
They didn't weld that one.
Yeah.
And was it the tire that stuck to the
No.
manhole, or the suction of it?
The suction of the cars going over
and
just ripped it out.
Yeah, isn't that crazy, dude? Like that's the thing that I was like, oh, fuck.
yeah, it's
Like,
serious.
oh, fuck, dude.
And they had issues with everything being cold and like the cars just not having any grip. It was a mess.
Yeah. Well, also, so to get that's so funny, dude. So to get a view of the race, like from one of the like multiple hotels that is nearby, I mean, it was
Super
like
expensive.
thousands of dollars. I mean, like 30. It could be like more than 30 grand a night.
Holy hell.
Yeah. So I'm gonna mess up the exact specifications, but one of the companies that was racing in this, for about the same price for the entire, if you stayed for the entire event, for less, they let you drive a car on the track. Like they would let you, like before the
Like,
race
look,
started,
you
they're like,
spent-
yeah,
yeah.
go ahead, get 6 laps. Like that's how much it costs to like literally just stay and like and get like the shittiest view of it going.
Oh my god. Yeah,
And
like
so-
a corner, 10 seconds.
So, but so there was one guy who got caught. I think a couple actually who got caught with drones trying to like capture footage of it, and the
fair.
cops got him. But the one that they couldn't stop and they didn't realize, and I don't think they had any way of stopping, was the traffic cameras. You can just log on. The traffic cameras on the strip were all still there, so you could just watch them all for
Dude,
free.
that's so funny.
Yeah,
Probably
so
get a pretty
good.
good view too.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. Like from the video I watched, it was pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah, because
But-
a lot of those are just like public access. You can
Yeah.
just go check. Because I remember way back when you
heck
still lived in
outta here.
Delaware and I lived up here, you were coming up to like hang out, and like
Yeah.
I got on the traffic cams. I'm like, okay,
hey,
I-
don't go here.
I'm like, okay, I see. Yeah, you're at that intersection. I see
yeah,
you.
yeah,
That's funny.
yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely a historical moment.
I don't think it'll happen
I
again.
don't think so either, dude.
So it hit a car behind them, I assume.
No,
Or-
it
just
was
got
it was during
loose.
practice. So after the thing
I think it
happened,
just got
obviously,
loose,
like-
didn't it?
Well, it took out a car.
I think it got loose. The first car was fine. Like it just sucked it up, and then the next car like it hit it.
Bum, bum.
Probably, but like
Yeah.
after that, it was like red flags and you know,
Yeah.
pull everything off the track and figure out what the hell
How do
happened.
you unweld a manhole cover from
Well,
the ground?
I don't
I
think
know,
they
right?
welded it.
No, I know, but I'm
But he's
saying
like-
like if they
Oh,
were
afterwards?
to, yeah, you
It's
just
gotta
I
suck.
guess you grind it all down.
Well, it's F1. Like
yeah,
they got
yeah, the
money.
money is.
They have money.
Yeah.
But yeah,
course
I
Verstappen's on
remember reading something before this event actually happened that any businesses along the strip
Yeah.
had to pay like thousands of dollars to have a view of the track. So like if you were a hotel lining the strip and you didn't pay the FIA the money, you weren't allowed like and let anyone in there actually see it. Like they'd put fucking walls up
Get the hell out of
Yeah.
here!
so you
Oh my
can't see
God.
from the hotel.
Yeah.
I'm like, what
Yeah,
are you
it's
gonna
a
do
little
about the
much.
high rises
Yeah.
though?
Yeah,
Let 'em
it's
board up the
yeah,
entire.
yeah. It's a little much, dude. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, like there's like some inherent freebies going on. And like,
it's-
look, if
it's
you wanted to have it in
unfortunate.
Vegas,
you want to put this in a city that's
Yeah.
inhabited. I mean,
like
you're
this
gonna
is
have
you're
to,
gonna get some freebies.
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
You guys are
You know,
rolling
like,
in
this is-
money.
Yeah, let this just be what it is. Let it be cool. Like,
multi-billion-dollar company.
yeah, God forbid somebody got a deal in 2023. You know what the fuck, dude?
hook somebody up accidentally.
yeah,
like,
whoa. God forbid.
What would the shareholders think?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
F1's down 4 points. Somebody saw it.
I know. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. But yeah, kind of a flop. I mean, I didn't know much other than that.
No.
But yeah, so I guess we'll just move on from that. And so what was
You can't
his?
just
F1's
click-
cool. How about?
You can't just click on things that's like enticing to
know.
talk about
I
and not
know.
expect me to just.
That's my fault.
I've
No,
been
it's fine.
watching the Rockabilly thing post up there for. I saw it earlier in another
You're like,
list. I was
come
like, dude, I want to.
on.
I was gonna be like, hey, do you mind if I pick a topic? And he organically pulls it up, and I'm like, let's do this.
It's like, wait, what was that one?
He
right
scrolled over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it was another title
Yeah.
up there. I'm like, no, he wanted to talk about this. I know he did.
Yeah. Dude, the Rockabilly is so good.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good. I saw it the other day.
Yeah.
But you were the one who looked into this. You had talked to me a little bit about this beforehand. So
I know a little bit about
Yeah. So I forget what's the thing that was going on. It wasn't
it's like World Economic Forum or.
I don't think
something.
so. I think it was just like an energy something economics meeting. I don't know. But for some reason, the dictator from China,
Xi
Xi
Jinping.
Jinping, is
Xi
just
Jinping.
yeah. He's was in town.
Wait,
for
he was
this.
here?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like shaking hands with Biden,
Okay, I
hanging
didn't
out,
hear.
chopping
What
it
the
up,
hell?
busting it up, stomping through the club.
I hear
they're
they're
hanging
great
out.
business partners.
Well, actually, not. I don't think they are, and I think that they were actually hoping that this business meeting or this whole event was actually going to rekindle some of that because of what Nancy Pelosi was. Nancy Pelosi wasn't supposed to go to Taiwan and deal with all of her microchip things.
Yeah,
After she went anyways, China had done and still has a strict no communication between militaries, which we've had for a long time. So like our military has a lifeline that they can call and just like talk to China as a military. And after that, they were like, no, we're done. Like, don't even try to pick up the phone. So that was big because now it's like we're in the craziest time like fucking ever, bro. Like, and we can't even talk to China.
Historical moments.
Like, yeah. Yeah. So this was hopefully something got worked out. I don't actually know about that, but that was something that I know that they were really hoping for. But the big thing that I wanted to talk about was the fact that they had. So this was in San Francisco, and they cleaned up all of the homeless like within a couple days.
For those
couple
days.
Fences,
Yeah, exactly.
Fences and all this, and so and then after this, there's been like a $2 million lawsuit against California for like because it.
Hiding.
Yeah, well, because like it showed that they could have done it.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
why didn't
And like
you
now
do
they're
it?
and so now
Well,
they're in
What
trouble.
happened? What happened to those people that were displaced?
Nobody
momentarily?
knows.
That's the issue.
Dude, no one
That's
knows.
Why, yeah.
And then was it Gavin Newsom or like whoever? I think it was Gavin Newsom was on here for like giving a speech about it, and he was like, "Yeah, you know, when people come over your house, don't you clean it up?" He's like, "What, dude? What, dude? You can't just pretend like that's the same, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what are you
Jesus.
talking about?"
Where did San Francisco
I'll
schools go
take my
during APEC?
100 people that live in my house and hide them somewhere.
Like, there's just a closet somewhere in San Francisco that's gonna burn.
Busting out. Yeah. Like, I get cleaning up a little bit. You know?
Yeah, so I'll just play this. I don't know if I can even put audio on it or not. I don't know if I should. But yeah, I mean,
There you go.
like that's how. I mean,
Is that still like that?
it's been. Oh, but this is him talking about it. Oh, and actually, it's just them playing that video. I don't know them to.
Man, that guy looks cool.
I don't know, but yeah, so yeah, it was Gavin Newsom up there just like talking about. Like, come on, man, we're heading. We're heading up.
Interesting times we live in.
Like, look, I'm not gonna like play it, but like you can see, like he's laughing. The dude in the background is laughing. They had a cut to where he's trying not to laugh. He's like, I can't believe we're doing this.
He's like, you
There's
said
no
that
way
out
we're doing
loud?
this. There's no way we're doing this. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and so Target and Walgreens, Old Navy are all stores that are potentially leaving California.
San
Like,
Francisco City employees.
Vests?
yeah, and so there's like facilities people who like clean up some of that
Yeah.
stuff, and like they just like literally like they just clean, like they're just doing a good service, and
Yeah.
like they're offering bulletproof vests or a police escort while they're doing this in San Francisco, dude. It's crazy.
Jeez, dude,
Yeah.
that's
something.
Yeah, this world is
Yeah.
not good.
Well, dude, and I wasn't actually prepared to talk about this at all, but I mean, I'll spitball a little bit.
Yeah.
So Portland is still officially like everything's legal.
Is it? I thought they kind of like reneged on that a little bit. They
I
were like,
think-
this was probably a mistake.
Yeah, I
let's
think they're
dial back.
probably thinking that now
Yeah.
for sure. But
I
like
thought
it's
that they
still
They
already
decriminalize like
yeah,
every drug.
every
You can
drug.
do- I don't know about I don't know if prostitution was also like.
Yeah,
I think
it was
that's a
drugs.
much bigger problem than
Well,
fentanyl.
no, I know.
I think
I
it
know,
was
but
just
still, like,
drugs.
it wasn't just
Yeah.
drugs. I thought it was drugs and. I was like, that's
Yeah.
a move, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, drugs. Even in just releasing all of that to be totally legal. I mean,
It's crazy.
it's kind of.
And so like and I've always kind of thought that like maybe there was something to that. But like the thing is that like what they even if there is a success plan to that success plan has to start with like, okay, we have to create reform first. You can't just be like, okay, everybody can have whatever you want.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll start figuring out where to put you guys, huh? And then they're like, oh, everyone's dead? They're all dying? Oh.
Maybe that was the plan.
It's secret. See that
Could
conspiracy hat?
Could be.
Adrian
Oh,
loves
I
to
forgot
think
to,
that
I forgot to bring the
Everything.
tinfoil
Put your
hat.
job
Yeah.
Oh man. Right.
We need to have one. Just whenever someone wants to say something
And
out of
just-
pocket.
Just stick the song right quick.
Yeah.
By
But-
the way,
So I mean, it could be potentially, but there's also like a lot of babies being born in tents, dude. There's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of like sexual assault. There's a lot of like wild stuff.
Man, you take away the rules and shit breaks down. Who'd have thought?
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it's insane. So like Portland's not doing good, and I guess like if they could come up with a way like some sort of like subsidy housing that could just be like, hey, like you can be here, you get in, but like within a month you have to be clean to stay. These are the
Oh, okay.
programs like these are the kind of like
Well, isn't that
reform
what they were
things-
doing in like Europe?
Switzerland
Like, that's how, yeah.
and Switzerland and also or maybe it was Finland or Norway. Yeah, somewhere, but they
One
had
of them Nordic countries.
yeah, but like they did it as a country, and like, but really like they did it as like a city,
well, yeah,
as their whole population.
Yeah, their entire
you know?
population is like par
It's a
with
numbers.
New York or something.
Yeah, so it's like a little bit of a numbers game, but still, I mean, with the budget that they have, they certainly could put these kind of things together, dude. Like at least like start and try.
Yeah.
Because like if you don't have like a full like start to finish success plan like already set up for someone like that, dude, it's so easy to come back out and just like not do those things
Yeah.
and just go back to like
If you
living that way.
offer like, if you offer these like subsidy housing and all that stuff, like it needs to come with strings
rules.
attached.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It
Come with
can't just be
commitments.
like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they'll kick you back out, but even then, it's not like, I mean, like then they're just going back,
Back to the street.
Yeah, but jobs is like one of the big ones that I think is like an important part of that, because that's the one thing that like would keep you regimented, and like keep you honest.
Just keep
like,
you busy.
Yeah, so there's a dude. I'll try to like just put a picture up of his like tag. I forget his name, so I'm sorry. But I just found him on YouTube. So this guy's like an 11-year recovering addict, and now he's created his own business. I think it's mostly like construction and like demolition, like taking stuff down, and like like the removal, drywall, kind of like rough stuff.
Yeah.
Does some landscaping, but that's his business, and he goes around and like just trying to help like people who are homeless and on drugs, and just saying like, hey, like what you up to? What do you need?
Yeah.
Can I offer you a job?
Yeah. Do you need some work?
It's like I'll give you some money, but like, hey, like what if you come work for me? And like has this like, because that's a thing, like like when I can, and like when also the circumstance is safe. I do like to like give to like the homeless people who are like just panhandling, because like there's two sides of that coin. Like, are you enabling or are you helping? Like, I don't know, but like I read every scenario the best that I can, and give when I can, but at the same time, like it like, but then what? It was cool to see this guy who was like, he's like, I have this opportunity
This is
like
a
to give this
solution.
guy or this girl a job.
Yeah, this is a potential solution.
Yeah,
not just like
a Band-Aid. Yeah, and so I thought that was like super cool, and I think that kind of stuff like does like just like a smile. I feel like some other rich guy who also is like a business owner could do something similar.
Yeah,
if
but
they can.
The other
it inspires that
side of this
person.
whole problem though is a lot of these people don't want that.
For sure. Yeah, no, and like I've watched like a couple of his videos. He's got like, a lot of shorts and stuff that like are like easy to watch, and like there's a couple people where you can see him wrestling with it, where they're like they gave him the money, and then they're like, so what do you need a job? Like, can I can put you to work? Like, what are you using? Like, what's going on? You can see him just being like, I got my money. I gotta go.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
It's
I've seen like
it's rough.
I've seen some of these people living in these like homeless encampments
Yeah.
being like interviewed, and they're like, "Oh, I don't want a job. I'm happy with this."
Yeah.
There's a lot of that, dude. I mean,
It's just
especially,
like, how do you don't-
if you're
you
in
can't
California.
help that.
Yeah.
Like, there's no fixing that other than making it illegal.
Yeah.
Like, positive reinforcement doesn't work when they're happy with what they've got going on. You can't positively reinforce that.
Yeah.
So
Isn't
that
it?
just
Isn't
kinda
it?
leaves negative reinforcement?
Isn't it crazy though? Like if they weren't doing drugs, we would just be like, yeah, guys, just living in the woods.
True.
Well, he's not living in the woods. He's
No,
shitting
I
in my
know.
lawn.
I know.
Yeah.
I totally changed that.
It's an
yeah.
interesting-
Like
I mean, yeah, like,
sidewalk or woods, but like if they just, did it in the woods and they weren't panhandling and they just like.
Well, it's funny
foraged.
how living in a van down
It's
by
totally
the river went
different.
from being like a loser, the homeless guy thing to
Yeah.
being a rich person's
Like,
hobby.
that's like
Yeah,
what you can,
yeah. If you did that,
I
like,
can
strive
aspire
for,
to.
yeah.
Man, I wish I could live in a van down by the river. What?
I wish I could afford to live in a van by the river.
Yeah. That's the other thing too, is that like Portland's got like some water. you know, and so there's some like homeless that have got waterfront property in front of like millionaires who've got waterfront property.
I mean, true.
Yeah, like when I went to the Philippines, you know, it's a relatively like poor country by like the U.S. standards.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing there is you will have like the rich areas and the poor areas, but they aren't rich and poor areas. There's just a mansion here and someone's homemade, you know, house.
Yeah,
here.
California's the worst example for that.
And well, that's what I'm saying. It's like the U.S. is trending towards that.
Yeah.
It's getting kind of weird in places. The other thing that I've noticed that I really don't like, and I know I've talked to you about this,
Chance. I'm just kidding.
is I've been getting these advertisements on YouTube from the state of Pennsylvania, like, you know, sponsored by the state of Pennsylvania, to like start carrying like Narcan.
Oh yeah.
Just to like help random people overdosing in this. How about we just stop ODing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I agree with that. And I couldn't be, and you know me, I'm a very disciplined cat, you know. So like I like pledge all of that. But at the same time, I also like I know a lot of people who like have fallen subject to addiction, and how weird, and like because I shared that same thought, but at the same time, because my brain's not that.
Well, look, I'll put it this way: like, if you know people who have fallen into that, and you want to carry Narcan, great. But when we have a statewide initiative to advertise for everyone to start carrying Narcan,
yes, it's wrong.
That's indicative. Like that's a symptom.
Well, here's the other thing. Yeah, go ahead.
There's a huge issue also with people who are not familiar with administering Narcan called scope creep, or I think that's what it's called. It's like when you administer Narcan, if you do it incorrectly, too fast or too slow or something, like that can be worse than the OD itself.
Yeah.
And it's like if everybody's running around with Narcan in their pocket and they see somebody passed out and they just hit them twice with something people. They don't, you know, not correctly.
That
then
advertisement's like it's cheap and it's easy. And anyone can do
it's
it.
Not necessarily like if you, because I go to music festivals, so like that's a huge thing in music festivals. Like on these apps that like the social apps for it, they talk about people walking around with Narcan, and then you get these like actual nurses and stuff coming in, and some of them are kind of like condescending about it, but they're like, oh, you can't just be giving people Narcan, like there's more to it than that. And it's like it's,
well, they're right.
Yeah, I mean,
they are right.
Like
they
you don't need to like go to
but
college to give someone Narcan, but at the same time, it's like someone should have sat you down.
Yeah,
and explained to you what this thing is.
Course,
what
to keep an eye out for and stuff.
For sure. Like,
it's like that's pretty
I wouldn't know
in
what to do.
itself.
But going back to like what I had said, the whole thing is like if we're at the point where we have state-sponsored like advertisements telling us to all be vigilant about ODing and blah blah.
It's like
we have a problem.
Yeah. Are we fixing the problem, or are we making it worse? Yeah.
This is clear coded over a scab, and you're like, this should fix it.
Yeah. No, and I agree with like I don't think anybody should just be like carrying around Narcan, because there's another thing like where like you're then like advertising like people to kind of get involved in something that they may not like.
Yeah, in fact, there was
understand what they're getting involved in.
It's not even just that, but like there literally like a couple days ago I saw this. There was like an ambulance like EMT or someone who like revived someone who had like actually pretty much died from an OD, got him like back alive, and is like trying to talk to him, get information. I guess the guy wanted none of that, killed him. Like the druggie that he brought, you know, resuscitated, just killed him.
Killed the other guy?
Killed the EMT.
Oh,
why?
I didn't watch the whole video.
Okay, but so whatever the circumstance was, this dude's crazy.
Yeah, he was drugged out of his mind.
I know, dude, and I've looked into.
We're gonna get.
I know
everyone in on this.
Yeah, dude, I've watched a few like documentaries on it, and just read a couple articles, like kind of I'm sure as you have, but the like repeat offenders, the reciprocation of people getting Narcan is terrifying. Where like you're right, it's not like these are like giving someone Narcan doesn't really, it is going to save their life more than likely, but like you know, are they just going to do it again? Like, do they just feel like they can just now do it? And the statistics are showing that
people like are carrying Narcan. I can just, if I OD somewhere, someone will get me. It's fine.
Yeah,
like the rats in the bucket. You guys ever hear about that?
Probably.
The rat drowning in a bucket, where like if you fill a bucket up with water and the rat can't escape, it will drown, and I think it's like some like short amount of time, like a super like 20 minutes or something. It'll just give up and drown. Yeah. But if you stick your hand in, pick the rat out of the water, save it, let it go, and then put it back in the water, it'll stay alive for like 24 hours on that hope that somebody else, that thought that somebody else will come save me. Yeah. So it's like that thing. It's like you give somebody Narcan when they were expecting the OD, and then like now they're like, hey, people just walk around with this? Like,
what am I going to lose?
Yeah, exactly.
What I got to lose?
I guess just really risk it for the biscuit to a degree, and it's like... it's psychological, but it's
there's more of like a culture problem, and then like just like it's really just a culture problem. I kind of wanted to say like an abuse problem, because I just like I don't see like any other way of like looking at like all of the crazy stuff that we're seeing like in just like society and culture today, of that like it's not like just something that we have done. Like, this is like so crazy. Just like none of the stuff that's going on like today like makes sense with like how it was back in the day. Like, not to be one of those like back in the day guys, you know what I mean? But like
that lends itself to the like that whole we have life easier now, so we can focus on other bull crap that like doesn't really matter so much. Like, third world countries don't have massive suicide rates. Where they absolutely, you would think, like me as an American would be like, man,
that's miserable.
Yeah, I was like, that lifestyle sucks. I couldn't ever think of living that. But they're like, nah, dude, we're kicking.
Like, like they love it.
They're too busy surviving to be suicidal. Suicide is the luxury of the rich.
Yeah, of the rich, for sure. And it's like,
for sure.
I think that's kind of like, as unfortunately to bring the AI up, but like as we're getting our lives are easier and easier, it's like
there's something that reminded me of something else. So in zoo animals, there's something called zoochosis. It's you've probably actually even seen a couple animals with it without even realizing it. It's entirely psychological. There's no like bacteria or virus that causes it, but you'll see animals just like swaying or pacing obsessively, like back and forth, and just doing weird shit like that. And it's more common in like higher intelligence animals like elephants. Like, I think one of the most common examples is elephants just standing in their enclosure, just doing stuff like that. And it's because these animals usually have like this wide open range and this constant stimulation, this constant need to fight for survival. And then you just plop them in this room where they have nothing to do, and they go crazy. And one of the more scary implications of that is that we as humans are so far removed from like nature and like our original nomadic lifestyle that we evolved up to, that like we as a society have like a collective form of zoochosis, because it's also contagious.
Yeah, and we're domesticating ourselves to a degree as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, but it's also contagious. Like if you have one animal that develops zoochosis, the other ones are more likely to get it as well.
Really?
Even though it's social contagion, or psychological.
Yeah.
So there's like kind of like, has humanity as a whole gone through this?
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, it's definitely leaning that way, it seems, at least. Like, we're just spiraling. Like, the world sucks right now.
Well, dude, like, I mean, obviously, I mean, I would say, which is probably fair to just go on the record, that, like, I am pro-gun. So, boom, out of the bag, so we can be... put in whatever box, but I mean, it's pretty late in the podcast, so I mean, I'm sure YouTube doesn't look this far in.
Yeah, think about it. We talked nice for we bashed your balls for the first 5 to 10 minutes. I'm just
but after that, it's one of those things where like, I mean, the way that I approach like drugs is the same way that like with alcohol or drugs and alcohol, but same way with guns, it's like we don't have like a gun problem. We have a people problem. We don't have a drug problem. We have a people problem. But like they do actually, now that they seem to be a little bit different in the like the categories where like we do have like a drug problem, but it's like just because like if I use a gun, like now I'm not like different.
Yeah,
like you can use a drug, and like you were saying, like
use that gun, it can make you a very different person.
No, same thing with the guns. You can use a drug wrong and become a very different person.
But I mean, that's but there's more of like a chemical thing with drugs as opposed to like a gun just being
get on heroin.
But like a gun just being like something that is like a tool, and like shouldn't affect you, like your psyche. You can use it, and then be like still in the same coherent like
I have
level.
put countless holes through
Yeah.
pieces of paper,
Yeah.
and I am
Yeah.
still the same person.
Yeah. So
I think there might be a
and
little
then-
lead poisoning
and so
in
like
there, but
yeah, and so like like
Or
drugs.
it might be a chemical aspect.
Drugs is like a broad spectrum, and you can put whatever ingredient you want to like refer to as like a drug or whatever. Because like I feel like marijuana is one of those things that's really
technically
falling out.
nicotine's
You
very
know, like,
addictive and
yeah.
whatnot. So
Exactly.
It's considered a drug, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a schedule
Yeah.
class.
No, it's
or-
not a schedule.
Yeah,
Caffeine certainly.
Yeah,
caffeine for
absolutely.
sure.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean I think that they are a little bit different in that way. Like where like I certainly hold fast on the like there is no gun issue, like people have like been hunting and using guns, and I mean, used to like be able to like learn archery.
We had
in school.
marksmanship like courses in high school.
That's what I'm saying. So like those things existed, but we didn't have like these shootings. We didn't
talking
have
like
like
the
these
60s.
like
Yeah.
these people that are like angry and shooting up Walmarts, which is our next topic actually.
Oh, great.
So, because this is like one of the craziest Walmart shootings, but we'll get into it. But you don't like now we have those things, and like fentanyl has been around since the 60s, and like now we have
it's
these
a problem.
problems.
Yeah.
Like heroin's been around forever. Now we have these problems.
Yeah, opium's been around since
Yeah.
China had a problem.
I was
with
about to
opium,
say
but
China's
that's
been
because
going
because of
through
the
it.
Brits.
Yeah.
But like we didn't have an opioid crisis until like the 80s or 70s.
Yeah, but like I think
And
like
that was prescription opioids. It
Yeah.
wasn't like opium, smoking
Yeah.
poppy seeds and stuff. Like,
yeah. But I think now I mean we certainly have like all these issues now, but like it's more about like the culture of like our society as a people, and
Oh, you're
I
saying
don't
we're going
get
through culture rot.
Yeah, I think so.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And
honestly.
I
200 some odd years.
There's
is
some
a-
parallels between current day U.S. just
Rome.
world and the Roman Empire.
We're
towards the
about
end
the, we're
there.
about the
Yeah.
age of the
But
Roman Empire.
we speed ran that shit.
But that's the thing. Like
Took
just
them thousands of years. Took us 200.
Yeah, we
yeah,
did
just
it
like
quick.
the Roman Empire though. Like there's so many like factors that played a role. It wasn't like one thing
No.
you could point to.
Yeah, no.
And that's what makes it so hard. Like when
How do you fix this?
how
Where
do
do we
how
start?
do you know if you're in it or not? Is what I think about. I'm like,
It's
how
like the,
far
it's like
are
boiling
we
a
in?
frog. You bring the temperature up slowly.
Yeah,
you
I
don't
have
really
no
notice
idea.
it until like you're on fire.
Yeah,
It's just like-
exactly. Yeah, so I don't know. It's crazy, and like I mean, and I hate like to see all the things that are going on, and I wish that like because I don't. I mean, because I think like all the drugs being legal, like I think that kind of thing could work. I mean, like it works in Amsterdam and like even like in Italy, like they drink at a really young age, which is like kind of close to being that. But it works in the same way where like once you've like kind of shown it to them, you haven't hidden it from someone.
Yeah.
It's a lot different.
Yeah,
And
but,
it's,
like-
and it's
secret ingredient
It's
is crime.
appreciated differently.
Yeah, but
the strength is
At
different.
the same time, like heroin is
Yeah.
devastating.
It is, dude. It
Meth
is.
is
Let's
devastating.
Yeah, dude, it
heroin
is,
at a
and it's
young
like,
age.
yeah, like not even only like death, but I think it also can kind of break people.
Oh yeah, no, for
Like
sure.
I think like either like psychotically or like psychologically.
Well, it's one of like heroin and meth, and that's a fruit fly.
Yeah,
but they're like immensely, almost immediately addictive.
Yeah,
So like you do it once, and it's like I need that,
Yeah.
and that's what your life starts revolving around.
yeah,
So there's no like we're gonna introduce them to this early.
yeah. So that's why like I'm saying like I like when I heard that Portland was doing all that, I was like, like this could like be all right. Like maybe like Portland will manage it, and I don't think that's true. I think that like
No,
it can never be legal.
No,
I think
there-
it's like it's never a thing that anyone can like.
There are
as
certain
a human
things that
society
should be
that we
illegal.
can't manage ourselves.
Like weed should be legal because that isn't near like that's not crippling.
yeah,
Like you let that go.
yeah,
And honestly, I feel like if weed was legal and readily available, like you could buy it like the same way you can buy
Yeah.
cigarettes or beer,
yeah,
then a lot of people would never turn to anything else.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No,
They wouldn't
100%.
need to.
Yeah, 100%. And
The people
like,
who already have are gonna, they obviously
keep up
don't
with it.
have
yeah,
a
dude,
choice.
the argument for weed should have been changed a long time ago. Like as soon as like you get like you show me a statistic for like weed related incidents, and then show me drunk driving.
Yeah.
Like, excuse me? Like, you're saying that like, it's like I can drink like this whole bottle that I can buy for like less than $20 can kill me, but like this entire bag of marijuana can't kill
Will
me.
make me kill
but
an
this is
entire
illegal.
bag of Cheetos.
Yeah, this is illegal. This I can buy, and I can be 21. Like,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah, so it's like weed's a no-brainer, but like everything else for sure, like I'm pretty confident now that it's like this is just how it's got to be. It's got to be illegal. Like I just like there's no like way to manage it. And even if like you were, because there's like Dr. Randall Carlson is a college professor somewhere, but he's done a lot of like studies on drugs, and where he was like a straight edge kind of guy. And as he was doing like these like scientific experiments, whatever, with them, like found that he's like, you know what, I actually would like to recreationally use heroin. And it's like, it's a crazy take. It's a crazy take, but it takes a disciplined person to like use something recreationally. So like alcohol, like I think is like the starter, right? Is to be like, okay, well, like if you think you can handle that, maybe try alcohol, and then like most people go off the rails.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
I was gonna say
so,
alcohol
like,
is like a devastating.
yeah. So, but that's his case. Like that's the Dr. Randall Carlson's
I would like to recreationally
case.
use heroin.
Yeah, well, I mean that's his take
That's
on
like
it.
a-
I feel like it's very anecdotal. That is like one person being able to do
I
that.
would call that anecdotal.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things quite the contrary to that in other
Yeah.
aspects that draw parallels. It's just like,
Yeah, so to just make everything legal is just crazy. Like, is it misfortunate that you can't just recreationally use heroin because like you think you can handle it, or maybe you actually can?
Yeah.
Sure, but like,
Sure.
Bubba, like, I'm sorry, we can't just make it all.
Smoke some weed.
yeah.
Dude. Yeah, chill out. Yeah, so I mean, I feel like just to make a prediction, I think that Portland's gonna have to like reel a lot of that back.
I don't know how you can.
I really think they might have just been like, okay,
Like,
have at it.
is it?
They're
is there
gonna
any
purge
way of-
themselves.
yeah, I guess. In theory, over time.
Maybe, dude, but that's what I'm like. I think that there's a lot of people having babies out there too. You know what I mean? So I feel like there might be a little bit of a system that's going to happen. I mean, but there's also a lot of people who are just going there. So like,
That's also part of the plan to stave off population collapse, since later and later generations are having less and less babies.
Yeah.
It's all part of the plan.
you should mention that your tinfoil hat is on.
Oh yeah, yep.
Okay, just so everyone's clear.
No, this is 100% what I believe. This is
Yeah.
actually happening.
Coming from the soul.
Yeah. No, I mean, dude, it's just it's madness. It's madness. But on top of that, like people who are using drugs are also many of the people who are either using and selling or whatever. Are also doing these mass shootings or just like wild shit. So this story that I found happened recently. So this cat, right? So I'll just explain it. There's a video. I couldn't actually find a good article on it. So this guy went into a Walmart and was being a little suspicious in the store. Bought a bunch of ammunition. And the people, in the Walmart, and they have like the Walmart has a really good loss prevention plan, like a program.
You used to be able to buy ammo in the Walmart here, I think.
Really? The one? Oh.
Yeah.
Used to.
Oh, so this is in Minnesota.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah. Probably a little bit more.
Yeah. So he's suspicious, and so they call the cops. By the time the cops get there, he's already left the store. Like they didn't want to go after this guy.
No
so
confrontation.
the cops like confront him in the parking lot, like still like rolling to like his vehicle, and just opens fire on the cops.
Oh, he does. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So it turns into a whole shootout in this parking lot of the Walmart. The guy gets arrested. I think he does like a year and some change, and then maybe not even, but like about a year, and then now he's in Utah, and just in a regular traffic stop. The cops don't know who he is. They don't know his record. They don't know that this guy was just gotten out of jail for shooting at cops. He didn't kill anybody, but just got out of jail for that. So I swear to God, they're like, hey, like something's going on. Like we just want to search your vehicle. Is that okay? And they're like, yeah, sure, that's fine. So like him and the female passenger are like they hop out, and they're like, hey, look, why don't you just like to the guy, this same guy who shot up all these cops. They're like, why don't you just wait the passenger seat of my cruiser, and we're gonna search the car. The female is now like out like standing next to the cop car. They're searching the car, find a meth pipe, and they later go on to find like 9 pounds of methamphetamines.
Jesus.
Yeah, 9 pounds. or maybe ounces.
Yeah.
A lot.
9 pounds is
That's
like
a lot.
Yeah.
this much meth.
Yeah,
9
it could have been
ounces is
9
like this
ounces,
much
could have
meth.
been, but enough, a lot
Yeah.
of meth in the car. So he takes off. This dude steals the cop car. Yeah, and it's a canine unit too.
Oh,
So
no.
he stole the dog
Yeah, he
too.
stole the dog.
So they're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
So luckily there was 2 cops. So they got another car.
Hop in the other car.
Yeah, hopped in the other car. The guy goes a couple miles, gets just pulls off the highway that they were on. This is all like on literally like a big highway.
Yeah.
Pulls off the highway and just stops. Now he's got the rifle from the SUV and he's shooting at the other cop. Another cop pulls up, and this other cop that followed him didn't have a rifle. But another
So he's
cop
got a
pulls up who
service
has a
pistol.
rifle. So yeah, so they're kind of doing this little shootout thing. They're going back and
Jesus.
forth. So where he's at is at like a 4-way intersection where like you could get off the highway, you could get back on the highway, and then there's a road that goes over top of the highway. A car, just a civilian car, sees all these cop cars sitting on the side of the road, has no idea what's going on, and pulls over next to the guy who stole the cop car. And they're like, "Officer, what's going on?"
Oh,
and he's
no.
like, "Give me the fucking car."
Yeah.
And like has this rifle in their face. So this dude, the guy who driving the SUV, and then there's a female passenger, just is like musters the courage to just like grab the barrel and try to take off, and the guy shoots the dash, which like they said was like the OnStar that could have like stopped the car for a second, but it stunted the car, and the car wouldn't move. And then eventually, like, he was able to like pull off, and that guy kept shooting at the car, shot the girl in the passenger seat in the leg, and like they pulled off. And like meanwhile, the cops are like, they can't get any closer. They don't want to like escalate the situation, but they're
Guy's got a
screaming.
rifle.
They're like, "Go!" They're like screaming to him. But like again, like I mean, imagine like you just pulled up and you're like, "Holy shit! Like I don't want to be in the way.
Yeah.
Let me just stop and
Let
see
me
what's
ask this
going on."
officer
And this
real
this
quick,
officer
yeah.
just runs up to you with a rifle and is like, "Give me the car."
Yeah.
You're like, and like he's in like street clothes, but like honestly, the cops that pulled them over in the first place were in like kind of street clothes, and they had
So
like
everybody looked normal.
they kind of all looking the same, dude. It was like crazy to find yourself in that scenario. Like now you're shot in the leg.
Now, if I hear gunshots though, and I see like a
Well,
bunch of cop
you
cars,
might not have, dude. I mean, when you're
If
in
I
your
see
car
okay,
with your radio
let me
on,
rephrase
and
it.
maybe
if I
you're
see
driving,
a cop or who I think is a cop with a rifle, I'm stopping way back until I know what
they
the
might not
hell's
have seen
going
him.
on.
They might not have seen him. And the way that it wasn't like they were like in the middle of nowhere. They're like, "Oh, there's a cops up there." Like
Yeah.
it was like
Wonder
they're kind
what's
of coming
going
around a
on.
bend, and then you see the highway.
Okay.
So it wasn't like they had like a huge picture to like kind of really assess everything. And like the way where they're going is like it wasn't like it was like there was a bunch of traffic. There was people ahead of them. Like they got to kind of see a pattern of how they should be moving. You know, it wasn't like that. So like literally, like, it was like the perfect scenario, and like it, like
That's
it's
unfortunate.
it's scary, dude. So, which is the reason I have my tourniquets out.
I
'Cause
thought that were.
I
At least
have-
that one was.
Yeah, so these are both tourniquets, and I felt like now, and I'll probably do it a million other times. Is that like a good time on the podcast to be like, kids, go buy a tourniquet.
Are you familiar with the use of both of those?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So I'll explain them to you guys. I don't know. I mean, you guys
I have no idea
are
how to use them. I
gun
know what it
advocates
is.
as well. We'll just put that on the pod now. So I mean, if you
Just
have a
ousted
gun,
us, bro.
okay,
How am
I
I
should
gonna-
say this: if you have a gun, I can edit it out. Sorry.
If it's not even just if you have a gun, if you ride a motorcycle, like
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
do anything outdoors or anything where
Bro.
you could injure or severely
out.
like cut yourself.
So my friend Savannah, shout out Savannah, is an EMT. At least was. I think she's still doing it. I don't know. So she was at a grocery store. Coming out of the grocery store, some old lady had lost control of her car and had slammed into this other car, which slammed the other car into, I believe I might be getting this story wrong, but the shopping cart caddy. And the shopping cart caddy thing went through the
pole.
passenger door and through this person's leg.
Ooh.
And she just happened to be there with a tourniquet. She's just in street clothes.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
coming out of the grocery store, just doing her thing. Runs up, sees what happens, throws a tourniquet on, saves that woman's life.
Cool.
Crazy,
Yeah, very
dude.
useful.
Yeah. So it's super convenient. And like this one, like I don't know if anybody can see it. It's a rat's tourniquet. Just Google it. RATS, rat's tourniquet. So the 3-finger loop thing, and I just keep it all together with a little stretchy band. It's a little hair tie. But I fold it up like that because like the way it comes, it's gonna come in like a big, kind of like a mound like that. It's all like it's impossible. However it comes,
Yeah.
you're gonna like use it for the first time just to like know how to use it, and it's in this. It'll never go back. So that's how I keep it. But so it's a 3-finger loop thing. So and it's got this little sticker where you're not supposed to like go any further past this, because this will go and this will like kind of tighten this way. So you don't ever want to take that off. This thing stays, and it's the 3-finger loop rule. So like 3 fingers should kind of like fit in there, like so. So you're gonna put it on your arm, and I don't know, this is gonna be terrible for the video. You guys, there's probably a pretty good YouTube video of it, but it's gonna go through this little guy here, and we'll just pretend that it's on my arm, and then so it's this way, so like so. And then it's going to wrap backwards. And so, like, I'm not putting that much pressure on, but you just keep wrapping, and that's actually a lot of pressure. I'm going to start losing some blood, but...
Well, that's the point.
Yeah.
But
that's
it. And then, like, this little cleat is supposed to hold it, and you just figure out a way on either side. That's so this is, like, the more, like, this is good, but like it's not like the best.
Yeah, it's that one with the twisted
This is
thing.
the best,
Yeah.
and this is I think
That's the one that I'm more familiar
this
with.
one's cat.
seeing.
Yeah, so this one's also like far more like straightforward. It's also got time,
I saw that.
and so like people should like kind of like take a little bit of ownership of like their own like safety a little bit, and like understand a lot of this stuff, but you know, to just like do this small impromptu thing here. So it's also got a time on it. So like you're supposed to like write the time with a tourniquet, because like God forbid if you had to put one of these on, like you probably like have to keep moving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're probably not gonna like God forbid I had to put it on you and like shit's going crazy somewhere. Like I might have to like run away, like assist someone else.
So
Or
someone
just
else
get out
comes
of there and
by
save
they
myself.
See the time on. They're like, oh, I need to loosen this.
Like,
Yeah. It's been on for
or
this
like
amount of
either
hours.
reapply it, or just be like, okay, like this person's gonna be the person who's gonna die first.
Triage.
They've got to go. But yeah, so this same thing though. So just Velcro does the same shit. That's gonna be terrible to do on my arm. But and then the little time sticker comes off. This guy twist. You just keep twisting until you lose circulation, and it just hooks in there. But
Oh, that's pretty cool.
if I could do it on my leg, but yeah, so Fluffy, you want to play with that?
Yeah, hell yeah, I do
Little
actually.
show and tell.
Yeah.
So, public service announcement: go buy a tourniquet. And dude, all this inflation, all this like crazy stuff, I looked it up today. I bought this for $20. Guess how much it is today?
$30.
$20.
Oh, good.
Inflation is fake. It's fake.
Yeah, Arizona
People-
iced tea is still like what, $1.29? Is that
I have no idea.
Has he been
99
keeping the
cents?
99 cent?
99 cents? Yeah, I don't think they've gone up yet.
They were like, honestly, it would cost us more money to get rid of the cans. We gotta
no,
reprint the
They're
cans.
like the internet's constantly threatening to revolt if Arizona raises their prices.
And then the guy
Yeah.
from Costco is constantly threatening his employees to not change the price of the hot dog.
the hot dog stays.
Yeah.
Stays $1 hot dog.
The glizzy stays.
I don't know if that's still. I'm just gonna put.
No, I
this
saw
in.
something about that not that long ago.
But yeah,
he
I
was
don't-
like, yeah, it's not changing.
That was. It's been his stance for a while, and I hope he holds to his guns. I hope he really sticks to it, because
Yeah.
eventually, when food's ridiculously priced, I'm gonna go
I'm
on an
gonna be
all
subsisting.
Costco hot dog diet
Hell yeah.
for way cheaper.
Yeah.
Just gonna be
What's the
glizzy
thing,
gobbler.
man? It's like it's cool. I mean, I'm sure that they don't really make much money off of those, and that
That's
they're
not the point. It's not about the money. It's about sending a message.
Yeah.
well. That's what I'm saying is that like I'm sure they don't make very much money off of those, and I'm sure that it's not like the craziest hard thing to make or the easiest thing to make, but like wouldn't you think that some like this wasn't made in America? Like this wasn't like this is all of these tourniquets are susceptible to inflation. Is my point,
Yeah.
and they're not. You know, and
It
I'm
does have
sure.
a U.S. patent number though.
Yeah,
I
so
like
but
that
I'm
rip on that road. It's cool. What's this material feel like?
yeah, it's like elasticy.
Stiff elastic.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
It's got some give to it.
yeah.
Crazy.
So, but pretty crazy. But everybody in this whole scenario with this Walmart thing lived, and it's crazy. Like that happened like a year later. Like literally, as soon as he gets out, he's got like all this
Why
meth.
does it seem like tons of people who shouldn't be getting hit with these long sentences get stuck rotting in jail, and
Yeah.
then people like this get out?
Dude,
What is that?
after this, he got 25 years, which will make him 60 when he gets out.
He should get longer.
Yeah, he's gonna get out. Like, you're gonna get out? Like, what does 25 years do to somebody in prison?
Make them more likely to do it again.
Especially like the way that they went in. I mean, some people like go to prison and they're reformed. It's a small amount of population.
There's an argument to be made about how our prison needs reform to be more focused on rehabilitation and not just punishment.
Yeah, it's strictly a punishment, which is, I guess, but.
And like, they've always had that program where, like, you know, you have to like kind of like almost interview to be like, hey, like, can I get out early because this
for
is
good behavior or something like that.
Right. And so like, but you kind of have to like pitch it to them. You know,
Sell
you have
yourself,
to sell yourself. Like, hey, this is what I've learned. This is what I've like, you know, how, you know, this is my outlook on it, and you know, and they have to like kind of feel like you should get out.
Now, like
I like that, but
in an ideal world, at least in my opinion, like prison would be for rehabilitation. Like there'd be therapists in there to like help these people learn a healthy way to channel anger and all these irrational like decisions they've made. But we can't really do that when we can't even give good mental health support to like our general population.
Exactly, and I think that's the thing that we were talking about, like the whole culture rot and like what's going on these days. It's just that like there's nothing like the mental health of people today is crazy, and then
I'm telling you, it's that zoochosis.
I think Fluff's like onto it with the like it's the shit's too easy.
Well, yeah, you and me have said that. I know you and me have talked about that. You and me have also talked about it. Now we can all talk about it.
Yeah, it's all too easy.
It's not and it's not that like life is easy because you know even like
there's caveats to it.
We all have decent jobs and make okay money, and we still struggle with like various things.
Sure,
but it's not that life or death survival type stuff that we evolved. Constantly having to deal with.
I mean, I don't know exactly what it is, because I guess like, cause I mean you're right, because I mean like things are like still difficult. There's difficult things, but like I don't know what it is.
I think that we need, as like a species, we need some hard struggling.
Hard times to create some strong men.
Well, it's not just that. Like I've watched interviews of these like defectees who have left North Korea.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is a country where like if they find out that you've defected, they'll kill your family that stayed behind. And some of these North Korean like refugees are saying like there's no connection out here. It's like, life was hard in North Korea. We didn't always know if we were going to have food. If we said the wrong thing, we might go to jail and just vanish. But like the community looked out for each other. You know, we helped each other survive. I felt genuinely connected with my neighbors and with my family. Out here, everything seems superficial.
Well, it is, dude. It's hard. I just watched a video. It happened in 2020, but somebody just posed as a FedEx delivery person and had a package in their hand, and they're like, "Hey, you know, she needs you to sign whatever," and then I'm just gonna take a picture of it, and then
the home invasion.
And then like
I
that
guy
saw that
video
and
today.
then other like 6 people like guys all ran in and just mushed. You know what's crazy? I don't know if you like looked into it. The homeowner had a gun. I think I'm guessing a shotgun. Shot his kid by accident. Kid's okay, but like still, it's like wild.
But they all got caught and they're all away for like 25 years.
This is why we all have high points everywhere.
In the toilet, in the shower, under the sink.
Some of them are unloaded. I just
PSA
throw
was
them.
having a sale. They were like $99, and it came with a carry case.
Oh my God. Just get like 5 or 6. Stuff places.
Just stash them everywhere. High points.
Just fix a leg on a table with one.
I've got a wobble in the table.
That would be too funny. Just pieces of it.
You got something to chalk this door open?
There you go.
This a handgun?
Yeah,
I've got like 5 more. You want one?
It's a yeet cannon, bro.
I would run out to the shed and grab a hammer, but I'm at high point right here. Oh, dude, and then speaking of all these crazy shootings, so I didn't really look into like what the hell happened here, but you guys seen this video?
No.
So we'll just do a little audio. We're at the end of it. No one's gonna get us. But
DMCA action at the end here.
These guys are just on the freeway.
Oh, I guess the internet's dead.
Happened to the interweb. Actually, you know what it is? I think I got to reload the
the whole webpage.
Yeah, I had to get my ad first.
Yeah, you gotta refresh the ads.
Yeah. There it is. Yep, it just had to give me an ad.
Mm-hmm.
Our 20 the coolest.
Oh, actually,
gifts
there's
for
no-
2023.
Oh man,
I don't know. Oh, there we go.
I was just about to be like, man, this guy sucks at filming, and I'm like, wait, there's like a lot going on.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah. I'm surprised he's still filming.
yeah.
So this guy who just dragged that cop out, he's an ex-con.
Really?
Yeah. So again,
Good-
like
good
the
shit.
rehabilitation works, but it's a small margin.
Well, I don't know if that's rehabilitation or this
No, it
guy's
could
just
be
a
just
fucking
that
human.
guy.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
this guy realizes doesn't matter whether you're law enforcement or not. Like you just got shot. It's
Yeah.
not good. I don't know like how bad he's injured, but it could be human to human interaction there. Like,
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, the way I know it, like the I think it was a police chase that ended up in a crash that turned into a shootout on the highway. So like everyone who was on the highway was just involved.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that dude got shot and just drags him out.
Is that the perp on the floor there? I take it.
No, that's the
No,
cop.
that's the cop.
Oh, that is. Why are so
Yeah.
many people on top of the cop? Or are they just
I
holding?
think they're
him?
trying to get a
just-
tourniquet on
Okay,
him and
okay.
just hold the blood from bleeding out.
What, so he got shot like, I
In the
assume
leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He dragged him like behind his own truck. It looks
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. That's what he says. Like, I'm gonna shut this off.
Yeah.
This
Smoke
diesel
him out.
just
Blah, blah,
idling
blah,
behind him.
Yeah.
He's like taking gigantic breaths.
Exhaust pipes right over his head. He's just sitting there bleeding
That's
out.
just
Yeah.
to like reduce
That's an
consciousness. Help
anesthetic.
him out a little bit.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I think
just
in our current system,
crazy.
you need to be a special kind of person to actually be rehabilitated.
You gotta be willing.
yeah. To like
A lot
go
of these
to
people
go
are
through the
Our system
system
doesn't
and come out.
promote that. Our
Yeah.
system, like he came out rehabilitated in spite of the system.
Yeah. A lot
Not
of people come out
because of it.
sneaky.
That's a good.
Like,
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like I just won't get caught next time.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think you're totally right.
Fuck the Squircle. I just want to stand on business real quick. Like I really don't. I saw it. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
not for it.
Are you,
I mean-
are you talking about the shape or the name?
The name, I don't mind the shape so much. I guess it's like it's
Well, it's
the
better than the
coolest,
yoke.
newest. Yeah, it's. I like it better. I didn't like the yoke at all, but this. I don't like the name, bro.
I don't
You gotta
like the
switch that.
shape. I will say I'm not a fan of the shape. Like, I'm even
future.
like I'm more like even sensitive
Yeah,
to
I
like
like-
realizing like when steering wheels are slightly not circle and like and then you
Yeah,
notice it, you're like,
Volkswagens,
wait,
all
the flat bottom.
spots.
yeah, yeah, I'm
I
not
just-
a fan.
Really got it. Yeah, the name.
Yeah,
Squircle.
but yeah, then I mean, I guess this was up here. I don't know if you wanted to talk about it
Oh,
or not.
dude, I didn't.
Yeah, I made that.
Look at that. What's up with the? Why does the face look like the back end of a Ford? I just don't.
Of a Mustang?
It does
Yeah,
look like a Mustang back then. Yeah,
It's got like their the rear fascia.
This
Yeah.
is pre
Rear
that
shit?
like Mustang though.
Is it pre Mustang?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
This
Yeah, for
is
those who are
Mustang
listening, we're
is like
talking about
is
the
early.
GM.
This is what we were
now,
talking about with that,
Highwire.
where it looks like the Ford, the Ford GT90 or whatever.
Yeah.
Just the concept egg shape of it, I guess.
Now, I
you
think
will.
you're thinking of the Ford Indigo.
We all had that Ford racing game that had the
Yeah,
GT90 in
the
it.
GT90 was the white car, but Ford made this red like Indy-based concept car that looked very similar
No,
to
pull
that.
up the GT90 and then not this one, but the other one. Tell me it doesn't look exactly like a less space version of that. The whatever that one's called. I'm sorry for those of you who are watching,
The GM
Or,
Highwire.
What am I looking up?
listening.
Ford GT90.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
Ford
I want you to
GT90.
look up the Ford Indy.
Yeah, he may be on
INDY.
to something. I'm not positive, but
Yeah, so the Ford GT90 looks like that.
yeah, it looks like an egg, bro.
Now look up the Ford Indy. I forget what the whole name is, but it's like Indy something. INDY?
You're gonna get. Yeah, I was about to say you're gonna get Indy cars.
Ford
Oh,
concept.
is that what it
Indy
is?
5.
No.
Indy 5.
Oh
Harrison
God, Harrison Ford.
No, that's Indiana Jones. That's what we're looking
Yeah, Adrian, you were way off, dude.
for. No, Ford Indy concept car or something like that.
It's
Why do you
still,
keep typing
it's still
5?
there.
Concepty that.
Oh. Okay. You know what? That does look more like the thing, but I've never seen this. But this looks like a Prowler
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the front lip they put on the top of the hood
Yeah.
for some reason.
It's a wing.
Sure it is. Dude, what was that Ford racing game? I want to play that again. It was
Racing?
probably. Was it
It
really
was Ford
just
Racing.
Damn. Yeah, they raised the machismo mustache up a little higher.
And they broke it into a
Oh yeah,
machismo
so
mustache.
I like that.
In
Looks
other
like one of them,
news,
like-
if anyone's made it this far into the podcast,
How long
Wicca,
in are we?
We're
about 2
definitely-
hours.
Yeah, I was about to say we're
220.
about 2
Yeah,
hours
we've
in.
hit
About
2
220.
hours. This is a long one.
This one, yeah.
well, if you made it this far, you can also now find out from us that Wikipedia now wants you to start paying.
I heard
They're
about
asking
that.
for
Yeah,
subscriptions.
Well, they've
donations.
been
Yeah, this
asking
is a couple
constantly.
years
Oh
old.
well, look how hard they're asking now. Like they
Yeah, it
won't,
takes up the whole.
Yeah,
account.
they
this-
won't.
yeah,
look, they
this,
won't let
yeah.
you leave you alone.
They've done that for a while.
Yeah, and then like as you like, and then watch this. It'll come.
Oh, that's okay. That's egregious.
Yeah.
Go back up to the top real quick. I haven't actually read the ads. I've like mentally blocked.
It goes
them out.
away. Make sure there's at least an ad on your screen at all times.
Yep. I mean, that alone might be worth $275. That's some pretty good tech right
Yeah,
there.
killing
Little
it, bro.
pop-up ads.
Good job.
Okay, so they're not in any trouble.
Who?
They
Oh, it's not like we're hurting for money.
no,
They're
it's
just
not like
we
if you
want
guys
something.
don't donate, we
Thank
have to
God you
shut
read it.
down.
Oh no, I definitely just messed something up for sure. This is unplugged. No longer works. Broken.
We can check that. You know that, right?
I mean, we made it.
yeah.
We
Pop
made
it
it
up
2
on-
hours.
Hello.
yeah,
Yes.
no, you're
That's how we started this podcast. It might as well be how it ends.
Yeah, so we jumped all around. Hopefully, I'll put some pictures in to make that
Yeah,
make
make
more
it cool.
sense with all that car talk for a second there. But
hey, a lot happened in a very short
yeah.
amount of time.
the high wire
the
was what we
squircle.
were talking about, which I think it just evaporated from our search. There it is. So this thing,
What you were saying?
the GM high wire was the concept, and like you were saying, like the whole body just comes off.
Yeah,
like
so
pretty
it's a
quick.
skateboard
Skateboards.
platform. All the
Yeah.
important moving bits
Yeah.
are on this flat platform on the
Yeah.
bottom with just wheels, and you rip the body off and put a new body on. So the one concept car they have looks like some futuristic little
Egg.
race egg,
Yeah.
Like an egg,
and
dude.
then they've got the family egg.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
so that's the
They got
thing.
the
So
line.
you just did like the little steering. There is no steering wheel. You use
is
like
it joysticks?
hand grips.
Oh man.
Ew.
Yeah, you like massage it to go one way or the other.
Please don't describe it like that. The
Yeah.
massage. Your
So there's
do I
also-
need to- if I want to go faster, do I need to?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? That's no, but that could be
Thanks
something.
for coming.
Thanks for
today.
coming. I'm a head out.
I'm head out.
No, so the I got that wrong. I think it does steer. I was trying to find like the steering wheel, but
There was a car that
I think
What
it
interior.
I think it does. Yeah, I know. Well, we were kind of back and forth, but so I think it does steer. It's the gas pedal. They don't have gas pedals because the steering wheel goes from one side, and it'll just go like it just this terrible electric
Oh.
motor will like push it to the other
So
side.
your passenger. Oh, that was my T. Okay, I thought I kicked the stand. Oh, that looks like for some reason.
Oh yeah, and you can move it. And there's one pedal or something. What's going on in there?
No, I think it's just a foothold. Ah, damn it.
Scroll.
Yeah, that's
Nah, I'm
just
sorry, that was way too hard.
It's way too hard. But yeah, you can move.
Yeah, I
the
think it's
steering
just
wheel
like
side to side.
somewhere to rest your foot. But yeah, the steering wheel just goes.
Oh, so it's got
wham.
twist throttle on
Oh,
the
yeah,
geez.
twist, throttle, and
That
brake.
is the ugliest looking steering wheel I think I've ever seen.
Bring
You're
back
driving
the
car
Squircle.
like this.
Yeah.
Bring back the Squircle.
Get the
Yeah.
ape hangers in
But
that thing.
James May
Jeez.
described it as driving a patio
Yeah, I can see that. It looks kind of patio.
because it's like just such a big
Open,
landscape that you
yeah.
can see. And then like the
It's
seats go all
otherwise
crazy
hideous.
too. I think the seats move around a lot.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. But concept car, I think they only ever like literally made one, and then that was it.
the
but-
GM egg.
But yeah, the hydrogen thing was also
Yeah,
super
that's pretty
crazy.
nifty.
I don't know if we talked about that or
No,
not.
we did not. So you were
Yeah.
saying you were telling me earlier there's no battery, which most hydrogen fuel cells feed a battery just to act as a
Mhm.
buffer for like when you floor the thing and there's high demand.
Right.
So I guess they have really good output from those fuel cells supposedly.
Yeah.
Really?
I was just.
I know. I heard what you said.
You keep scrolling past it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's something on there for that. But
Stand on business.
problem with hydrogen cars.
Yeah, what's up with the hydrogen?
Hey. But
Lack of infrastructure, as always.
Oh,
yeah.
well. Oh, for hydrogen.
Yeah. So just runs just on hydrogen, but yeah, pretty neat. I think that's the seats flipping backwards. I forget if they flip backwards.
I'm sure they.
Oh,
yeah,
I
but they're on like a
think
weird
bus
track.
seat.
Yeah, I mean it's so futuristic looking, pretty ugly, pretty terrible.
It is
but,
pretty ugly, actually. Unfortunately.
There are lots of like ugly future cars coming out that I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah.
I've accepted that the car styling that I like ain't coming back.
Yeah. Yeah. Then how about the power from the Cybertruck? You said that they towed a 911 faster than a 911 could do it in a quarter mile.
I mean, it's probably like a base model 911, not like a GT3 or anything crazy.
Yeah.
But it's
But it
still a
was
sports
towing
car.
one.
Yeah.
And it towed it. I don't know if it was a whole quarter mile. It might have been an eighth mile.
Yeah.
Because I think the Cybertruck, one of the videos I saw, it's like it tops out at 113 or 114, stays there.
Still pretty good.
Pretty good, but a Porsche will
Pretty
go
good.
faster.
Yeah,
for a truck.
for sure.
I mean, it's a truck.
Yeah,
For a giant battery truck.
Yeah.
for a giant metal wedge.
Mhm.
But yeah,
With a
it
sport.
pulled that 911 faster than the 911 drove itself through the quarter mile.
Yeah.
Which they've done before with the
Which-
Model X and the
Well,
Yeah.
Tesla, I'm sure Tesla
Yeah.
got the idea
from
Motor
Jason
Trend.
Camisa.
Yeah.
It was Motor Trend that did it.
Yeah.
They had a Model X and they towed an Alfa Romeo 4C through the
4C.
quarter mile about as fast, if not faster, than the 4C could run the quarter mile itself.
Yeah. Which is an awesome
That's a flex.
idea. Yeah, it's,
Yeah,
it's such a
It's a
flex.
flex.
I
It's
don't
a
care who
flex.
you are. That
I
you
can
have
pull you
to
through the quarter
appreciate
mile
that. Yeah.
faster than you could go.
And you can take it yourself. Back on 'em, baby.
Back on it, baby. All right, guys. Well, I think that kind of covers all the topics.
Yeah,
Probably.
we're
I think this is
bumping up on
the
2.5
Yeah,
hours.
yeah.
yeah. This is the longest podcast yet. So we
Well, that's
will,
what happens when we have a guest. So
Yep.
Yeah, it's just
apologize.
fun, man. First guest. Hopefully, we make it to air and nothing.
nothing's gone horrendously wrong.
Yeah.
We're trying new things here.
Yeah. So we'll
You
see.
know, we've lost a couple podcasts that you'll never ever see.
Yeah.
You might not even see this
But by
one.
accident. It's purely by accident.
But yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Yeah. Cool. Well, Fluff, thanks, man. This is
Thanks for
awesome.
having
I
me.
mean,
I had a
we're going to do it again for sure.
Yeah,
Hopefully
probably.
Christmas if everyone's around.
Cool.
So let's do it then.
Get ourselves some ugly Christmas sweaters. It'll be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I know. I got to I don't know if I have one or not.
Dude, they're hard to find, like the actual like stitch
Good,
ones,
yeah,
not
the
printed.
good quality
Yeah,
ones.
Like
yeah.
the one that I got, it took me forever to find.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to do some looking.
So yeah,
do some
start
looking.
searching now.
And you guys plan to be here again. We'll do it again.
Oh, I'm
So.
sure, definitely.
This podcast is proudly brought to you by Concha Services. Look, we've all started a project at some point in our house that turned into a bigger project. From remodeling or just cleaning out the attic, by the time you were done, you were left over with construction material, trash, old furniture, you name it, and you wish you had a way to get rid of it. Well, Concha Services has got you covered. Concha Services delivers quality dump trailers to your home or business with multiple sizes to choose from to fit your project's needs. And unlike the typical job site dumpsters, they won't damage your driveway or parking lot. Once you're finished with the dump trailer, they come and pick up, dispose, or recycle whatever materials you have safely and responsibly. And that's not all. Concha Services can also provide cleanouts, large material and furniture delivery, and even junk car removal. So, if you live in the Delaware tri-state area and you're looking to remodel like a professional or just have some spring cleaning to take care of, call Concha Services today and tell them the Leave It Running podcast sent you to get 5% off through call 302-319-4087. That's 302-319-4087. And remember to tell them that the Leave It Running podcast sent you.